How can you press?
Fantastic. Amplify your voice.
I pray it's able to minimize. If not, we'll just start again.
Nice.
Turn on your mic.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
I will call on Dr. Timmy, the convener of this event.
Wow.
Wow, today this event almost didn't hold. Right, I've been back and forth today and I can't even get to this today. But first, let me appreciate God, the God of my journey. I call him the God of my journey. He's the one that has made today very possible. And he's also the one that gave me the idea behind the Unmute Your Mic. So without God, this event would not be holding at all. There are so many frameworks out there. There are so many topics out there. In fact, before I chose Unmute Your Mic, I was confused. I'm like, okay, should I do borderlessness? Should I do something global, positioning, global opportunities? And then, somehow everything just started turning towards Unmute Your Mic. All the things that I've done about it, Facebook started reminding me about it. I woke up, I said, okay, it has to be Unmute Your Mic. And then somehow everything just aligned and God gave me the word to share. Even though this is not a faith gathering, this is not a church, but I need to establish the fact that the inspiration came from God, right? And this morning, when one or two things happened, first in the morning, I was looking for a car, my car, like, where is the car? Then on my way going to get the car, the hood of the car also opened up. Then at some point, somebody that was going to do something today also called me at the same time to say he's not able to come to capture the event. And then the person that was meant to bring the refreshment also said I have to come to Katie to get it. So it was like everything was happening against what was going on. And I said, God, what is happening? I said, you don't know that this Unmute Your Mic is a deliverance.
Yeah.
Oh, so you want to help people unleash their potential. You made a video, you're posting on Instagram. Come, will help you unleash your potential. Will help you discover God's talent for you. All the things that God has laid in your heart, the vision, the mission that you've been sitting on, all the inspirations that you have, the desires of your heart. So we will help you, give you, the tools. You need to unmute your mind. You think that the devil is happy with that? And then you are joking. So I said, wow. So it gave me a new perspective, and I just blasted in tongues as I was going to where I was going. I was so worried before, so I just began. I said, okay, so I get it now. I get it. So it's okay. Even if it is one person that gets the energy or that gets the transformation or that gets the movement or whatever today, honestly, the mission is accomplished. We've done the work. I'm telling you, we've done the work. So, God did it. Yeah, God did it. So I'm super excited. I'm so grateful to the God of that journey, that has made this possible. And secondly, I cannot do this without everybody in this room. I could have put up the flyer, do everything, Unmute Your Mic, come and do this. And people are just like, okay, welcome to America. But everybody here rallied around to say, we'll make it happen, don't worry. In one way or the other, every speakers, they said, we got you, we're there. MC, don't worry, we're there. To attend, we are there, don't worry, we got you. So I'm really grateful for the gift of everybody here. Some people just saw it on Instagram. We've never met before. This is the first time she saw it on Instagram. She came around. Some people had to drive from Dallas. She came with her husband all the way from Dallas. People had to leave their home. Some people have been here for the past 2 hours outside in the car. People left their engagement to be here today. Today is Sunday. You should be resting. There's work tomorrow, but we made it here. So, second, I'm just grateful for that. I'm grateful. And last but not the least, I just want us to have an open mind. It's not a conference. That's why we didn't say Unmute Your Mic conference. No, it's not a conference. I didn't add a summit to the back of it. No, it's intentional because we're meant to have raw conversations here. What is holding you back? What has held you back so far? What has God given to you as an idea before? Or that you know that I've been here for too long. It's time to shift. So what is keeping you there? Because there is nobody that is actually there that we've arrived yet to know. So even me that is saying Unmute Your Mic, I'm still unmuting every day. Yesterday I was at an event and Pastor TJ said I should print my flyers. In fact, Dr. Sosa had told me before 2 weeks ago, why don't you print your flyers? Go to some places. I said, no, I don't want to do flyer thing. Let the things we've done, let it bring people. So Pastor TJ called me 2 days ago to say, I think you should do your flyers. Then bring it to the event we're having on Saturday, all Houston by architect Jumoke Adenoho. So I was there and I did 100 copies. I said, well, at least it should be easy to share 100 copies. And then after the event, I stood outside. I saw Pastor. They said, "Where's the flyer?" He took some. Deborah, she's not here. Where's the flyer? I gave her some. So me, the owner of the flyer, now said, "Okay, so how are we going to share this flyer now?" They said, "You're going to give it to people now." And I told my dad that even me still need to unmute my mind in those areas because I just could not I am inviting you to this event. I said, "No, I don't want somebody to insult me." So you see that I'm not ready. That's what I'm not ready. So there's a level to this thing, muting your mind. So I just shared that personal experience to let you know that there are levels to this thing. So even though I'm the convener or the host, I'm still not there yet, I'm perfect. So that is what we're doing here. And every speaker you're going to be listening to today are people that I have one-on-one personal relationship with. But beyond that, their track record, their story will shift something in you, whether from the side of your personal wealth and personal branding, or from the side of you reinventing yourself, or from the side of your career and positioning for your big moment. In whatever angle they are coming from, sharing their story, I believe that in one way or the other, it will be able to shift us to the next level. So once again, welcome to Unmute Your Mic 2025, and thank you so much for
So we're going to go right into it, and I'm going to call up the first speaker. When I saw this bio, I think, God, I beg. God, when? Where will I unmute my mic to get to this place? So our first speaker today is Dr. Hakeem Tijani. So Dr. Hakeem Tijani is catalyst for exponential growth, youth leadership, and community empowerment. Yes, just pause there. I don't think there's anybody that will come to Houston. I don't think anybody that would want to do anything in Houston. Even if you don't know him, one way or the other, they will call you. You have to start from there. If not, you are not ready. You are not starting anything in this Houston without him. It's such a privilege and an honor to have him here, and for us to listen to him today. So I'll really read his bio. It's long, but I'll be fast. Expert in exponential growth. Hakeem Tijani is a seasoned expert in driving exponential. Can you get the expert exponential? So you're catching it, please, because we have to catch up. Development, growth for projects, products, services, and events. Known as a connection and impact enabler, he excels in bridging the critical gap between needs and resources, significantly contributing to building entrepreneurial ecosystems. His transformative approach ensures every initiative becomes a catalyst for success. 100. Hakeem specializes in creating connections between diverse minds and hearts, fostering collaboration and shared visions. Yes. His dedication to catalyzing lasting impact and empowerment allows him to navigate the intricate tapestry of human connection, driving positive change in communities. I feel like this bio alone is a speech. Without further ado, please join me as we welcome Dr. Hakeem Tijani.
200. God done did it.
I was beginning to think it was me trying to introduce. Okay. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate the opportunity to be here. And I like that Timmy said that unmuting your mic is a marathon, it's not a sprint. Because at some point, every single day, we'll have opportunity to unmute our mics so that we can allow the expression that God has kept in us to flourish. I don't have to say much about myself. My sister already said it. And everything that she said is true. Every good thing she said is true. Everything that is, well, she didn't get to say any bad thing. Thank you very much for the opportunity. Timmy, I appreciate you.
Thank you, sir.
Normally, I do emceeing of events, but this is different. Good afternoon, esteemed guests, visionaries, and leaders. It is a privilege to stand before you today at Unmute Your Mic, an event dedicated to unlocking the power within us to rise to our greatest potential. Because God has put capacity are potential in every single one of us. A blind man has potential. A cripple has potential. A deaf man has potential. The theme today, positioning for great moments through personal reinvention and mindset reengineering, may sound like a long word, but it's very, very deliberate. Big moments, personal reinvention, mindset reengineering. Because you cannot unmute your mic if you don't take advantage of a big moment. Determined to develop to reinvent yourself personally and have the ability to have an unstoppable mindset. This is not just a concept, it's a necessity for an in this ever-evolving world. How many of you remember when your grandparents used to grind pepper? They used to grind pepper on stones. How many of you had your bath, like in the public, on your street? Or maybe you were born in Bikoi. I was born in Mushin, that's fine. You know, I remember having my bath. I didn't care. When I grew old, I was asking myself, what exactly did I not think? So there were all these ladies, in our neighborhood, like upstairs. But that's really for another day. It's just letting you know how much and how long I have come to unmute my mic. Because I grew up in an environment where you had to grind pepper on stones, where you had to wash plates in 2 bowls, and you have to walk to fetch water and queue up to put water on your head for you to be able to wash plates. Where you have to wash all your uncle's clothes, iron their clothes. Where at some point we didn't have a place that I can call a family house, where I had to grow up in different places. My aunt's house, my uncle's house, my cousin's house. At some point I didn't even have a home. Whenever I left school in Jos, I didn't even know where I was going, because I was that boy. But I learned something as I grew older. The world would not give you what you want. The world will give you what you demand. And that's my story. If you don't demand from yourself first, you don't have the right to demand from nobody. Anyone who has met me will tell you, I push myself more than I push anybody around me. Because I don't have any reason for no one to say, oh, you know why you're pushing me, you're never pushing yourself. Many of us aspire to have to be great, but the truth is, big moments don't just happen by chance. They are the result of deliberate preparation, intentional transformation. The mindset turned success. Today I want to challenge you to unmute your mic. I don't know what that means for you. Step into your purpose and position yourself for extraordinary life. I don't want to bore you guys. I don't know how many minutes I have. Just how many minutes do I have? 30 minutes. So I like that, so I can take some questions. What does it mean to reinvent yourself? Reinvention is not an event, it's a process. You have to wake up every single day to know that the people you meet, the challenges before you, will help you to understand how to reinvent yourself. At some point in your life, you have to be calm. At some point in your life, you have to be bullish. But you have to understand yourself to be able to reinvent yourself. Throughout history, the most successful individuals that you know, some of them whose pictures are around you, some of you may not know these people, but I'm sure I can find one of them. There's a gentleman called Temitope Okeseeyin, who probably to me was the best teacher of history of my generation. And people can bear witness to that. Because a lot of things that I knew in history were not taught in history books. They were taught in music of Temitope Okeseeyin. He had to reinvent himself at some point to be the voice of the people, even though he had been through many things in his life. He killed his mother, the military, and did quite a lot of things to him, but his truth still lives on. So you have to make sure that you write your own history, so that history will remember you. Reinvention requires 3 key elements. Number 1, self-awareness. If you don't know yourself, you will never reinvent yourself. Knowing where you are and where you need to be, take a honest audit of yourself, of your skills, of your habits, of your relationships and your belief system. I don't know what religion is to you, but I understand that my own is a relationship that I have with the Almighty. And it has always helped my belief to know that with everything, all things are possible. Number 2, intentional growth. Learning new skills, embracing change and seeking opportunities for development. Not learning new skills that somebody told you to make money, but learning new skills that aligns with who you are, with your temperament, with your skills, your personality, with what you know that you can do. Number 3 is courage to pivot. What does that mean? That means that if you cannot pivot, you cannot reinvent yourself. That means at some point you have to leave some things and go find something else that will add on what you already have. Sometimes reinvention means walking away from comfort into an unknown world. And I hope that today you will change your mind. Consider the world we live in today. In a digital and AI-driven age. How somebody will say that they want to ensure that because you have to learn, you must continue to grind pepper with stones, and there's blender. I always know tell people that people condemn what they don't understand. Knowledge is key. Why? Because knowledge is information. Understanding is comprehension. Wisdom is application. Anyone who is in this time and this digital age that does not have an understanding of what ethically you can do with AI, in the next couple of years you will be behind. The opportunities before us are endless, but they require us to be flexible, innovative, and forward-thinking to position ourselves for big moments such as this. I want you to understand that I know that some of us are intelligent in the room, but I need you to kind of find the best of way to listen to all that will be said today. It might just be the trigger that you need to get that bullet fired. You must be willing to redefine who we are and what we bring to the table. And I want to talk about two things that is very, very important to me. Before I finish, let me know my time. I want to talk about mindset reengineering. In fact, beginning of this year, like I normally do, I go take time to pray and seek God's face for myself, my family, and this year God added to my rank for the church. There was one single word that God told me: mindset reengineering. You have to learn, you have to learn, unlearn, you have to relearn. Life is a journey of education. If personal reinvention is the engine of transformation, then mindset is the fuel that drives it. Your mind is your greatest asset or your greatest limitation. Trust me, whether you're married, you do well or bad, it's not the things that happen in it, it's the right mindset that you have. Because the same thing that crumbled one marriage is what is enabling another marriage. To position for big moments, we must re-engineer our mindset in three ways. Shift your mindset from scarcity to abundant thinking. Scarcity thinking says opportunities are limited. That's the lie they've told to a lot of black people in America. But meanwhile, immigrants come to this country, they become all that they need to become. Because truthfully, this country is blessed. Abundance thinking says opportunities are everywhere. Every failure is the ability to do it some other way. Every single person that has succeeded has failed in something. In fact, the richest man on earth has failed many times. But guess what? He kept going. You just need to prepare. The world is not running out of success. It is rewarding those who see possibility where others see obstacle. I've come to understand there is no failure. You just haven't learned how to do it better. Number two, overcome self-doubt and imposter syndrome. Many of us mute ourselves because we don't feel qualified enough. You think you're not enough. You think you don't have what it takes. The truth be told, no one is born ready. You become ready by stepping out and taking action. I hope you will take action today. The voices of doubt in your head are merely echoes of fear. Replace them with affirmations of confidence. Wake up every single morning, say, I am worth it. Say, God done did it.
I am worth it.
Every single
God
day.
done did it.
I don't understand that, but it's fine. Number three, embrace resilience and forward thinking. Forward thinking mentality. Be careful of the relationships that God brings your way, because the ones you take for granted sometimes might be the one that will bless you in the future. You have to have a forward thinking mentality. I've come to realize that many times I used to tell in my church of the people that if I have to tell my kids of every single person who had done something wrong to me when I was growing up, he probably will hate some of his uncles and his aunties. But I've learned to see the best part of everybody and leave them to get the result of the worst part. But one thing I need you to know, don't stop being resilient. You do not understand that you give too much power to anyone's emotion that will determine what you will do and how you will do it. The difference between those who rise and those who fall is resilience. Those in the tech industry will understand that. The ability to bounce back stronger. Positioning for big moments means adopting a growth mindset, where failure is not the end but a lesson. Imagine the guy who invented car came resurrected right now, and then they showed him Tesla. you probably not understand that it was the same car that he invented that is just right there in front of him. I want you to understand that if you don't amplify your own voice by yourself, you can't make no impact. To position yourself for greatness, you must be visible, audible, and valuable. 3 ways to amplify your presence. Number 1, leverage technology. I've said it in the back. Build strategic relationships. A lot of people sometimes don't understand that money is good, influence is fine, but relationship is always better. It's not about who you know, it's about who knows you in the room. Be intentional about influence. I'm probably one of them. We had an event some weeks ago. Reverend Sam Adiyemi was there, and I was honored to be the protocol. And Harry came and met me. I was really very grateful that I was very professional about the way that he dealt with things. And he told me, and he says, TJ, he's having an accountability school, and he would want me to take a class on access and protocol.
Wow.
Access can make you mix people. Protocol will make you keep people. Somebody met me yesterday. I was telling me at some point in my life I was in a space where when I came into Nigeria, everybody know how passionate I am. I'm always willing to just, and sometimes my passion sometimes can override my sense of judgment. I just love to see people do better. And there was an understanding of that. And the person was telling me that, wow, how on earth did they miss me in that space? Was it that the people there didn't know what I carried? Trust me, they didn't know what I carried. I had to mute my mic myself. Now that it's loud, I am not making noise and I'm making news. Be intentional about your influence. I am a good place to clap if you want to clap this fine. I mean, I'm holding back the clap. So that's fine. Be intentional about your influence. Every great leader understands that success is not just personal. It's about impact, it's about service, it's about value, and be a solution to the problems around you. In my conclusion, the time to unmute your mic is now. Big moments don't wait for you to feel ready. Big moments don't care about your emotions. They require you to be ready today. I challenge you, number 1, reinvent yourself. Number 2, get ready to have a reengineered mindset. And number 3, step into the moments that define your destiny. The microphone is before you. The stage is set. And the world is waiting. Unmute your mic, step into your purpose, and own your moment. I find most important things you can use to through your personal reinvention and big moment. Number 1, I don't know what vision is to you, but clarify your vision and define your big moment. Challenge and reprogram your mindset. Develop and upgrade your skills. Build strategic relationships. And position yourself. And 5, take consistent, courageous action. While I was coming, I've had this conversation with Timmy. Like I said, I don't know how many times I had, but I will say this. I say I have time, so let me go there. And let me talk about 2 things. Let me talk about, you can unmute your mic, but when your mic is unmuted and you're making noise, there are 2 things that is important to whoever is listening to you. Number 1, they would want to understand if you are either a transactional person or you are a transformational person. I always tell people that somebody would ask me, TJ, what's the difference between you? I say, when I go into a room, I know my worth, but I'm also a transformational person. If I come into a space and I ask for what I think is what, trust me, I stake my life on the result that you will get, because I'm very highly transformational. Why? Because it's important to let people know that you are not just somebody who is for a short term, that somebody is for a long term. You make them not just see today, you let them see tomorrow. A transactional mindset focuses on immediate gains, short-term exchanges, and maintaining status quo. While a transformational mindset is driven by long-term impact, continuous growth, and meaningful change. 16 years ago, I was in a room. My pastor called me and said, TJ, I want you to go to Lagos. There's a training for new pastors. And I flew up, I didn't know who the people that were going to be in the room. When I got there, I saw Pastor Wale Adeluga. I saw Chude, the same Chude.
Podcast guy.
The podcast guy. I saw him there. And then I saw Pastor Sam Adiyemi. In that room were about It was very exclusive. It was about maybe 8 of us. And that was the point that I had a contact with Pastor Sam. Anyone who knows me when you're around me, I could pass for a loud person. But when I find a moment when I know that I need to pick something to listen, I'm quiet. But you know you can bear that witness. I pick my iPad or my phone and I write down. In that moment, I wrote down quite a lot. 17 years ago, there were principles that I learned in that room that shaped my life as a leader, as a youth pastor, that changed many generations of life. So people will see pictures today. They will say, oh, wow, he knows Reverend Sam. No, God found a way to put me on the table. I've kept to be on that table with my character because I never, ever go with the mindset of transaction. Because I have to feed my family. Some of you will understand. But somebody will always tell me, Pastor, stop saying that. She said, you don't ever say that in your life again. The personal coach, she's laughing. Coach Tammy, will always tell me. Because she knows what I carry as a person. Why? Because everyone desires to grow. Everyone desires to be something. But trust me, when you have achieved all that you have achieved, the people that will matter are the humans in your life. It's not the house, it's not the car, it's not the money, it's not the affluence and influence. It is the people that are in your life. Let me change one of my phone. One of my iPad is in this card so that I can give you a contrast into transactional leaders and are you ready? Let's see. Let me read this one. It says, transactional mindset, just minimal effort, just enough to meet expectation with transactional mindset. With transformational mindset, there's a continuous learning, innovation, and reinvention. With the transactional mindset, what you think of what I can get, but with transformational mindset, you think of what I can grow and what I can contribute. For transactional mindset, you want is to use people, but transformation mindset is to use things. That's powerful. Some of us who deal with people every day, those who work with us, will understand. Why must you have a transformational mindset? A transactional mindset may provide short-term results, but it limits personal reinvention and long-term success. I've been in places, some weeks ago, the mayor's office called me. There's somebody who just got appointed as assistant director for international affairs, and said, oh, TJ, the mayor's office wants me to be in the museum between the mayor's office and the African community. So that we can plan Africa Day because of the previous mayor, and I really want to say at this time, if you don't know him, he was a personal friend, he was a father, trust me, Congressman Sylvester Turner. So when I'm talking fast, I turn this down. Such a wonderful man, may he so rest in peace. Let me go. So, in the room, and I sat down there, and as I sat down, a mind was telling me, do you know what it takes to sit down in a space where one of the most powerful men in the entire of our city was here? I could ask for something for myself. And the guy was looking me in the eye and saying, he mentioned 3 names. He said, TJ, do you know that these certain people over the years, there's been a lot of opportunity for the African community, but they never share it with nobody. In the mayor's office, contracts, job opportunities, a lot of things. And I said, no, I'm not like that. If you give me anything, I will probably post it on the WhatsApp. And if you qualify for this, come and do it. Because I have a transformational mindset. If you walk away from this place today and you think that a big moment will come in your life, if that big moment comes and all you're thinking about is yourself alone, you don't deserve to be a leader. You don't deserve to have big moments. You don't even deserve to unmute your mic. Keep it on mute, keep it muted. Because people who walk around and have engagement will remember. A transformational mindset, on the other hand, positions you for big moments, gives you the ability to reinvent yourself, and gives you a voice when you unmute yourself. It allows you to evolve. It allows you to lead. And it is only based on that you can say that you have a legacy. I would implore everyone to shift your focus from mere transactions. Because you cannot have that big moment. In fact, the worst kind of people that should have big moments in life are people who are transactional. It's the bane of what is happening on the continent, that people have an opportunity to make a change, to make a transformation, but they always think of themselves alone. And you will not only achieve success, but you will sustain it. With these few words of mine, I should have been able to speak into your soul and your spirit. Thank you very much. I was looking forward to getting the better clap than that, but it's maybe I'm in the present audience. Well, thank you. Is my 30 minutes over? How many more minutes do I have? I have 9 minutes. Any question? I know question is coming, so let me know. Let me not even bore anybody. Is that okay? But let me explain the 5 points that I said. Clarify your vision and define your big moments. You could position yourself for success without a clear understanding of what success looks like for you. For some people, the reason why I always tell people that success is a very achievable thing for anybody. But anyone who does not understand that success is sustained by process would come back to the place where they started in the first place. Imagine you're climbing up the building, and as you climb, you broke one leg of ladder, forgetting that you will someday come down to that ladder. Sometimes success is like that. So you must have a clear vision. And I know a lot of people have told you what vision is, and it sometimes is some people is a big word, is a cliche. I want you to see that vision is that thing that God puts in you that is beyond you, that will add value to someone else. A lot of times when you see vision and you can only see yourself, God doesn't give vision that is selfish. God gives vision that is transformational. And that's why He puts things in the heart. Imagine Mahatma Gandhi. Mahatma Gandhi was an Indian man who was born and grew up in South Africa. And at some point he was a lawyer. Because some of you don't know, he was an activist in India. And at some point, you look at it from South Africa to India, and God gave him the opportunity to be the one who was supposed to speak on behalf of the Indians. How many of you know the reason why India is what it is today? It's because of that one person, Mahatma Gandhi. There was nothing the British government did not offer him. They offered him money. How many of you have ever seen Mahatma Gandhi before? His picture. What do you see him put on? What does he wear?
White robe.
Always in a white robe. And that's because that was a religion that he believed in. But he also believed in fasting. Why? Because at the time he was in South Africa, he had a very good friend who was an evangelist. And the evangelist left South Africa and went to India with Mahatma Gandhi. How many of you have seen that movie? You need to go and see it. You need to go and see it. Because your vision is beyond you. It's always for someone. So I told somebody, I believe that there's an influence that friend had on him, that he imbibed a very, very strange way of fighting, which is to starve himself. Is to starve himself. He fought, and India gained their independence because of that man. Vision is good, but identity is fine. Identity is better. So identity for identifying opportunities is better. Identity for the opportunities you want to attract. If you say you have a vision, and God has really given you a vision, what do you think you should do? Should you be trying to look like the way that you want to attract people? Experts will say, write down your goals. Right? I was talking with the doctor today. I went to see Pastor Coach with Emadi, and Lord have mercy. This weekend has been one of the most. Yesterday I was at Jimoke, I didn't know what it meant. I don't know. The entire of this week, I just want to lock myself and eat those revelations. But that's really for another day. Challenge and reprogram your mindset. See, there's nothing that can happen to anyone who has the wrong mindset. Do you know that the Bible says that the heart of man is desperately wicked? I know it's not a religious gathering. What that simply means is that there's a certain level of wrong mindset that you would have that even you, the carrier of the mindset, you don't know. That is only people that will see how you relate with people, how you treat people, how you challenge yourself. Eliminate limiting beliefs that keep you stuck in fear. America is not for black people. Black people can never succeed in America. You know, all Africans must go and work in a factory. Doubt. Adopt an abundant mindset, like I mentioned before. Train your mind daily through affirmations. I say a lot of people tell me, Pastor, because I say a lot of affirmations to myself. I carry it away. I am the hope that one person is looking for. I am the success that one person is looking for. Without me, somebody's destiny is not going to be activated. Use me, Lord. Develop and upgrade your skills. You see, and let me say a bit in skill side, so that since we're talking about big moments, I'm one of those who used to follow. So people will say today is Scrum Master, tomorrow is nursing, next tomorrow is cybersecurity, the other day, and there's nothing wrong in that. Skill is very important. But I've come to the point that America rewards you for something people know that you do consistently better than every other person. If you discover that it is puff-puff that you're good at, I beg you, let 100 people know that your puff-puff is the best and you'll be richer than for people who do cybersecurity. Right. Not because cybersecurity is not good. No, it's what I've discovered.
Absolutely.
Somebody say, come and do, it's insurance. Then they'll say, you gotta bring 10 people that will not come. So when you sell insurance this thing, and I told them, I said, no, I mean, it took a while. And some people, it's TCDJ. But one thing I believe, the person with the right mindset does not stay in one place. When you discover after you have created wealth for yourself that you want to do something, then go and pay somebody to learn cybersecurity. Then do it better. So skill is not good just because it would add value. It is good because it relates with something on your inside. And I can use my wife as an example. My wife is a very bright person. Everybody knows her. 3 years ago, she took her time, went to a school. She did all the exams. Only for them to come and I said, oh, there was something that was wrong with the school. The woman was so big. I said, what is wrong with you? What do you want to do? So you have to go to school. My wife is 44 years old. She has people she could give birth to in her class. She's on the dean's list. Because I told her, I said, you love to help people. You love to take care of people. Stay there. Somebody said, no, go and do Scrum Master. I said, you cannot do Scrum Master. You can't Scrum Nothing Master. Because everybody here, some of you know, but today, she's going to graduate with RN in May. But I'm telling you, I've not seen someone who will come back from work at 10 p.m. and wake up at 4 p.m. to go to clinical of her school. She will come back from the clinical, then she will now go and sit down and read from 5 p.m. till 4 a.m. the following day. You know why? It connects with what she knows she loves to do. If you are somebody who knows how to cook, you love to cook, trust me, people will be begging you to sleep, or you will not sleep. Or you give Lord Prayer a screen and digital money. You finish. Or you give Lord Success IT training. You finish. So what I'm saying is that let's not walk away to think that there's a one way. The only way is the vision that you see. Yeah. The one thing that you know, that skill that you love to do. Big moment requires preparation. Why? Because it identifies skills, identifies gap. It identifies you more than you even know yourself. Yeah. Stay relevant on an evolving world of one place. For example, now, somebody is an architect. When she was in church those days, during church, she'd be drawing, I'm preaching, and she's drawing stuff on her book. And I'll see her and I'll be like, well, what are you doing? Normally, somebody will say, I'm preaching, you cannot even write it down. But because I have that gift to understanding, gift to people, I was saying, what do you want? I said, this is good. Today, she's going to launch her own line of clothing called House of Slave. Amen. But guess what? She's as an architect, right? I'm saying to every one of us, and the last one that I will say, build strategic relationship. I'm going and on. Is my mind up?
Yeah.
The time up? Is up. Okay, thank you very much. God bless you. Off my
Off your mind.
Thank you very much. Yes. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Dr. TJ. I struggle between Dr. TJ and Pastor TJ.
Anyone, just
I think that was a very powerful presentation. Let's give him everything Dr. TJ said it's we want so much, but we forget the power of becoming first. Who do you need to become first off? So you want this, you want to achieve that. The truth is, and he talks about the mindset. And one thing I have learned is you cannot solve any problem or any issue that you are going through with the same mindset that puts you in that situation. So you definitely have to, everything that you are going through is because there is something you don't know. What do I need to learn? What do I need to know to come out of this situation? It's a mindset thing, and that is so profound, it's so powerful, because until you realize that, the unfortunate thing is, it's not what someone can discover for you. It's not what someone can do for you. You have to be able to do that by yourself. So that's very, thank you very much for sharing. Thank you for sharing your story with us. That was very powerful. So I'll just go, I'll read the bio of the next speaker. All our speakers are doctors, Hey, well, you cannot leave
there's
here.
even double doctor somewhere there.
Our next speaker is Dr. Success Ojo. Dr. Success Ojo is a powerhouse at the intersection of AI, education, and technology. As the CEO of Go2Cost and co-founder of gmind.ai, she's redefining virtual learning through AI-powered solutions, making education more accessible and transformative. With nearly 15 years of experience in cybersecurity, risk management, instructional design, and artificial intelligence, she has equipped over 15,000 immigrants and young professionals with in-demand tech skills through Reals Tech Institute. Many of her graduates now hold executive roles across the US, Canada, and Europe. Recently recognized as a woman of work by Afrocentric TV, where we gathered to celebrate her during the 2025 International Women's Day celebration. Dr. Success is a force to be reckoned with. Her work is not just about technology, it's about breaking barriers, creating opportunities, and ensuring no one is left behind in the future of work. At Unmute Your Mic 2025, she will challenge us to harness AI, embrace digital transformation, and unmute our mics in a world that thrives on innovation. We have seen your profile.
You've seen my face, you've seen my profile.
Exactly.
They know who you are. Why are you hiding? Yeah, I can't help you.
All right. Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Oh my God, I'm not a speaker. I'm a teacher.
Okay.
You know. So please allow me. If I don't actually speak like, Dr. Jamie and Dr. Pastor TJ. Can you speak this?
Yeah.
Remember this?
Yeah. I do.
Yeah, you challenged me in my house. Go and buy this. And the next thing I want to. My God, thank you so much. That's so powerful.
Thank you so much.
I'm telling you. It took me a while to understand you. I'm telling you. He was pushing me.
I apologize.
He was just pushing me. I don't understand. But gradually, the more I look at him, the more I follow him, I think I have a better understanding of him. I ran away to sincere because that push was so serious. Even one day I had Aaron, he pushed me to the point that I fell down. I fell down. I'm telling you, everybody needs somebody like Pastor TJ. He needs a corner. Please, let's put hands together. It's actually a blessing to my generation. I was also in your service today.
You were? Oh.
Yeah, last week I was there online.
Wow.
And possibly maybe next week or day I will definitely
It is not too early for you.
You know, Thank you so much, Dr. Jenny. This is a great opportunity, giving me the opportunity to speak to wonderful faces here this evening. Yeah, my name is Dr. Success Ojo, and some people know me as Coach Success Ojo. I'm actually on Instagram as I am Coach Success Ojo. Not Ojo, Ojo. I'm actually on Instagram as I am Coach Success Ojo. And on LinkedIn, I am there as Dr. Success Ojo. Right. I remember when Dr. Cheney gave me this topic, I told her, I said, all this aspire, perspire, I don't know how to say all those words. What I understand is actually career growth and business growth. And she was trying to school me, on how to go about it. So I'm just going to follow her leadings this evening. All right. How many of us love success? If you love success, raise up your hand. Okay. Congratulations, because we are seeing success. So I'm trying to be my friend and to have me in your corner. You understand? But let me challenge you, because I wasn't actually named success that bad. I'm telling you, my name was Oluwayemi Abodude. I know. Oluwafunlayo. I know. So at age 15, those of us that follow Pastor Bimbo Lukoya those days. Me, love all the pictures, you see pictures of Pastor Bimbo in my house, the CDs and everything like that. So I listened to a sermon one day, and she talked about the power in the name. I think the one he did with this American pastor, Donald, I don't know the name again. So I told myself, I said, no, I was actually reinventing myself. I woke up to my dad, and I told my dad that I want to be success. He looked at me like this. I was just 15 years old. And he looked at me like this. I said, success, I look for it. And my father was actually a lecturer. I was actually a professor in the University of Ireland. And he looked at me, and he was actually quoting a lot. You see that Oluwayemi and Abodude, something. I said, what is Abodude? Then I went to my mom, and I told my mom, I said, Mom, I want to be success. My mom said, success. I want the whole world to call me success. Then after about a week, I went back to my mom again. I said, I want to change my name to success. My mother agreed with me. And one thing about my mother is, right, he says two things with my mom. He knows how to convince my dad. So, my mother actually agreed. And I put Oluwayemi success, and Oluwayemi success, I know. Then I went back to my mom. I said, no, I want success to be success, Oluwayemi. Later, my mother agreed. And so when I wrote my secondary, I was already in university. So the first time I actually wanted to do my passport, my dad was actually in charge. He was doing like this, and he actually assisted me. And they changed my name from Oluwayemi, and my first name became Success. Should I tell you something? Even up to yesterday, there was a big moment for me yesterday. I was actually given a recognition, State of Texas House of Representatives. They actually gave me an award yesterday as a woman who empires with about 20 women yesterday. And you know what? Almost everybody was actually success. I love that name. And that's why that name was actually open doors.
Yeah. You know what to call yourself.
I'm telling you. And then we said, why won't you be successful? So name actually matters.
Yes.
I want to challenge you. Let's look at our names. And the names we are giving to our children.
Right.
Let's be actually. I'm not only, I'm telling you. My son, I call him King Oba. And my son, I said, I give her to another one who call him Oba. Because he wanted him like a king.
Right.
So name really, really matters. All right. What we have before us this evening is how to unmute ourselves. Then I told Jamie, I said, I'm actually going to talk in line of career growth and impact. Because that is just my story. When I came into this country, I came with 2 degrees. I've always been a bookworm all my life because I don't know anything apart from book. So I've always been a bookworm all my life. So I came into this country to join my wonderful husband. Please let me celebrate that wonderful man. He's the transformer and just the speaker. Anything you see me do is the one that's actually teaching me and propelling me. You know, when I came in to join my husband, he has spent close to 10 years here. After the fact that I've worked with United States, I worked with UNICEF, I worked with World Bank. I left World Bank to join him so that the whole family could be together. And I came at a particular time when I was actually flourishing. You know, I was really doing so well in World Bank. I had drivers to myself. You know, I was controlling the whole state and Ondo State World Bank project. A lot of money, you know. But one thing I have to choose between money and family. And you know, I love this my husband and said, I just need to actually come to America. So I came to America to join him. And I came with 2 degrees. You know, my first degree I did home science and management, child and family psychology. And my second, my master's I did social works. So when I came here, you know, I faced the reality. And I'm sure the reality that I faced is the reality that so many of us have faced one time or the other. And it's real. I'm telling you. So you are not alone. We all face it. So I faced the reality. Then my husband told me that my husband was a nurse, but today is a powerhouse in technology and cybersecurity. You know, when I came in, I met him as a nurse. He was actually doing so well. He was a wound care nurse, and he was doing absolutely well. There's so many nurses and stuff like that. But I always, when they had advised me to go and do nursing, which one? I always look at them. I don't see me. I'm sorry. I don't see myself. Sorry, am I out of? No. I will try.
You can move, man.
I can be free.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. You know, I don't see myself. But one thing about me is just that when they told me that they are going to read big book, way back, that interesting. Wow. Because anything that doesn't challenge my brain, I cannot do. My number one hobby is reading. I cannot do without reading. The way some people watch movie, that is the way reading is for me. I find it so complex. And I don't like to read things that are simple. I can't do something that is so simple. So what attracted me to nursing was because they told me everything. And I went through it. You know, when I did my very basic in the University of Eastern Community College, they used to call me, what did they call me? Martin's King. Because I played there with 4.2, that's the easiest thing. I left and everything like that. You know, when I finished nursing, there's something about me. I've actually seen a lot in my husband, people walking around me. Nursing is a great career. So I always advise you, I left nursing not because it is bad. I left nursing because that is not me. So when Pastor TJ was actually talking, I quite perfectly understood. I had a perfect understanding what he was actually saying. Because nursing was not, I don't see nursing in me, you know. And so immediately I finished, I went back to Nigeria, and I went to see some of my friends that were in World Bank. And a lot of them, they were actually doing so well. In fact, they've all gone higher. But there's something I was hearing throughout the time I was in Nigeria. Tech. You know? And I came back to the US. I was actually looking for opportunity for me to move from nursing to tech. Now the next question is, tech is plenty now. Which tech am I going to? Which one am I going to go into? All right, I'll continue my story. Let's talk about the 6-step framework to unmute and mic for career growth and impact. I know a lot of individuals, they are starting new career, or maybe they want to actually start new career. I've also faced that, you know, but I'm going to actually share with us the framework that I actually used from where I was to where I am today. I'm proud of myself. Please clap for me. You're proud of my story. And sometimes I tell you my story, you'll be proud of me. Because I'm so proud of myself. How I got here, I never knew, but this is the framework that I followed. The number one thing I did was I have to understand who I want to be. What are my strengths, potential? So self-awareness and clarity. When I actually got to that level, that I have an understanding that I want to do tech, but I never knew which of the tech. You know, I actually have a good understanding of what are my strengths and my potential. Then the next thing that I did, I went into big research to have an understanding of what are in tech, and what are those niches in tech, and which one fits my person. Do you remember where I was coming from? From nursing. That doesn't fit after all the hard work. I'm still paying my nursing school loan, and that's the only loan that I have. I don't have in IT, I don't have any loan. I'm still paying it. You can imagine the big sacrifice. When you wake up in the morning, you go for the clinicals and everything like that. I went through everything. Okay? So I actually having a good understanding of who I want to be, then I had to actually research. Who are the key players? What are the necessary qualifications? How do I get started? So I made research, and I went to LinkedIn, and I saw people that looks like the person I want to be. I told my husband, and these are the people I want to be. Not those people wearing scrub like uniform. No, I don't want that. Then the next thing I started sending, connections to them to actually, so that I could have an understanding of what tech is all about. Some of them obliged me. And I said, but the first thing I did was not to start asking questions. I just wanted to be their friend. Then one day, my husband told me he was actually going to Starbucks to have a meeting. So I asked, can I follow you, sir? I carry my laptop and I follow him. I blessed that particular day. When I got to Starbucks, he was having his meeting, and I was sitting in one corner. And then I noticed a lot of people using laptop, and they look like the person I want to be.
Wow.
So I said, okay, I must position myself to do what? To connect. While my husband was having a meeting at the back, I went to some of them and I asked them, please, what do you do, sir? They told me they're actually doing cybersecurity. The other person is doing IT service management. And I said, can I have my son? They said, yes. Can you tell me more about cybersecurity? Is it something? And I wanted to listen to what they want to tell me, so that I'll see if it fits in my potentials, my strengths. And everything that we're saying looks like me. So I said, okay, how can I be a cybersecurity professional? They told me I have to actually go through training. Who is training? How much is it? Okay, then I went to the other person. What do you do, sir? I do IT service management. Okay, I do IT service management. Who is training? How much is it? They told me. So now, I wanted to choose the two. I did not choose who. Sorry, I took the two. Wow. I went to my husband and I told him, I said, I have something I want to do now. He looked at me. He better go and write your own class. And I said, let's leave a class for now. My dear, I want to do cybersecurity and IT service. So, number two, the first thing is for you to understand who you want to be. And the next thing is to nurture your skills through training and practice. So I expect people to train me. And they gave me the numbers. I called the numbers. I must pray that they should accept me. I was afraid. The person asked me, have you done IT before? I said, no. But I know I can read. And so I said, okay. I have a class that is going on. It's already at the 10th week. You will join. I said, I'm not going to pay, so don't pay. Come and see if it's something you can do. Then you will join the next class. I joined them. The IT service, I started the class together. So when they finished, I could repay. I joined my own class. So I had double opportunity. And when I finished, the IT service then finished, and I just realized that IT service, I did not look like who I want to be. So I just pivot. Me, I'm a queen of pivot. I know how to take. Oh my God. Listen to my story. I'm the queen of pivot. They gave me that award, the second award yesterday, queen of pivot, when they listened to my story. I just said, sir, thank you so much. I did the certification, 2 certification. I gained everything in that class. And I just went to the cybersecurity and said, sir, all my load is here. I will die as a cybersecurity professional. And he looked at me and he said, do you want my certification? I said, all the certification was important. I want to write. And to God be the glory today, I have over 25 IT certifications. I'm telling you, it wasn't so easy. Sorry. How many minutes do I have more? Because I've only gotten to have a I don't know. How many minutes? About time?
10.
Because how many minutes more? 15. Okay. I'll try. Okay. So, I started writing certification. Let me tell you about what certification that I wrote. I'm still in number 2. I'm going to number 6.
Wow.
Okay? So, I went to one of my teachers, and he said they are writing security laws. I said, you read the dorms. So they said we should pay for dorms. I paid for the dorms. And about 10 of us paid for the dorms, but I was the last person to take the exam. So I did, everybody took the exam, and they failed. And they said, are you going to collect your money back? And I was shaking. I said, I'm not going to take my money back. I said, I'm going to write my book.
Yes.
The worst that can happen is for me to fail. It's not going to kill me. And they said, what did they score? They told me what they scored. 7 marks more. 5 marks more. I said, okay. How many did they used to prove? Did they used to read? They said they didn't read at all.
No.
They just took the door. They crammed it. And okay. And I went to my husband. I said, I need to buy more dogs. I bought more dogs. And I went to the library. Yeah, I enjoyed it. I read like hell. The man was calling me after about 2 weeks that, go and write your exam. This dog will expire.
Wow.
Hey, when I took the exam, I passed. And when I called him, I said, hello, sir. He said, I have told you everybody is failing this exam. Thank you, remember that day? He said, I told you everybody is failing this exam. And I said, sir. He just shouted, do you know what? He don't call everybody to come and buy the dog. And the dog there. I'm telling you. So it's not as if I want to
validate his dog.
But I validated the dog. And I validated the dog process. All the teachers and my mentors, I validated they are good. They used to use me as an example. I'm actually a very good example. Because my this your way. I should say I should help me. My Christian way. That's my friend Bibi. And number 3. So I actually did what? I actually wrote a number of certifications. And so, then I needed to get a job, right? I started writing certificates, started doing interviews. The jobs were not forthcoming. Then I knew that something is actually wrong. I look at the resume they gave me. And I look at what I was taught. Far apart. You know? And so I told my husband, I said, I want to do more training. So I spent another 6 months training myself. It wasn't so easy. Sometimes I would travel, I would sleep in the airport. I only have money for the training, no money for accommodation. And I was just a lot of rough road. I spent about 6-7 months doing that. And after that, do you know what happened? I put myself back into job market, and I got 6 outstanding offers back to back. I went back and I told the person that trained me that I got job. He started calling me to come and start speaking to people to validate his training again. Wow. I'm telling you, it's been like that. I got 6 offers back to back. But the one that I loved most was in Washington. I went to Washington, and so I was happy then. I only spent 2 weeks, and I would go and I would come. But I never liked the fact that I was leaving my baby behind. I wanted something that is permanent. Something that is local to Houston. But one thing I was doing, all my meetings, I would make sure that the reason why I'm talking all the meetings, I was showing my good, the best of me at job. And I'm telling you, within 3 months into that job, I became the lead. I became the highest succeed. And so, it was looking, my boss now liked me to the point he never wanted me to leave. But I needed to go back to Houston. So there's something that I did. I joined different networks and different community of practice. And that brings me to my 3rd one, which is master visibility, strategic positioning, and make your presence known. All the community of practice that I joined, I was very active. And so one day, the person that took me to one of the community of practice called me and said, there's a position in General Electric. Do you want it? I said, want it, Ken? I want now. He said it's going to be a remote job. And so I go answer my prayer. I actually went there. I did the interview. I got the job. And I'm telling you, it's also a lead role. I packed my bags and I moved back to Houston. I came back to Houston and I realized that a lot of people that I have around, they were actually behind. They were still doing Uber, doing DoorDash and stuff like that. And I said, I actually need to do what I need to help. The first thing I did was I started teaching people how to write security plus. You know, security plus and how to pass it. I taught over 60 people and they passed the security plus. Now, they need a job. So they told me that success, we don't want to go through that your way. Like, you must take one class, then you have to go and take several other classes. Why don't you help us to put everything together so that we can actually take it from you? And that's how I started training people in community libraries. So I started training people, and I came up with my own framework. So what I got from the other class and what I actually got around, I put it together and I created my own syllabus, my own outline, and I started training people. God be glory, I trained over 15,000 people, even Congress. A lot of them are VPs, directors, managers. Talk of Chase Bank, Bank of America. In Citibank, I have about 50 of my people there. KPMG, Deloitte, I have a lot of my people almost everywhere. But something about us that we did. I'm sorry, I'm a Christian and I can't deny my faith. Our motto is prayer, hard work, and discipline. And I will tell you, if you want to be my student, you can be my student. But if you want to be my own mentee, you must follow the key principles. So not all everybody that I train were actually my mentees. They were actually my students. So you can actually see, I actually mastered visibility, which actually gave me an opportunity to come to Houston. Then another thing is this. When I started the training, people were actually taking my classes, and it got to a point. We needed people, the story fly around, that I needed to put systems together. So I rented two-room office. Then the next thing I did, within 3 months, people started calling from all over. So what I did was, okay, we expanded 5 rooms, 8 rooms, then we started using the second floor and the 5th floor of the high rise we're using. Then we started calling from the UK, started calling from Canada, started calling from anywhere. What do we do? How do I handle all these people? Then we thought of it that we should virtualize the system. We built Go-to-Course. Go-to-Course is the learning management system, and for people to actually join classes online. So when people join classes, I mandated that even if you're coming to physical class, you must actually use Go-to-Course. And everybody that was invested in these guys. Because when we did that, shortly after that, what happened? COVID came. And people that were able to come to physical class, they could not actually learn. But because we have created Go-to-Course, we never shut down Risk Institute for a single day. People were actually joining online, and they were actually taking classes. Then it actually got to a point where people turned to us that they actually wanted to use the platform to run their own virtual school. So we optimized it, and to God be the glory, we have over 3,000 schools right now using Go-to-Course learning management system. We've always had the AI on our platform, for people to create their lessons, for people to do personalized learning and stuff like that. But at a particular point, I told you I'm a queen of pivot. At a particular time, people turn to me again that we are independent educators. How can we use Go-to-Course if we don't have a school? So we thought of it again that we must actually create opportunity. We brought GMID out of Go-to-Course as a standalone product. And that is my best. Today we have over 3 million users using GMID with over $1 million in current revenue. I'm telling you, this has actually worked for us because we remain consistent, watching for execution and our growth, ensuring that we don't just create opportunity, but we also create systems for people to be able to create opportunities for other people and also to grow their business. And I'm telling you, we also need to elevate our impact, sustainability and legacy. That's when Pastor TJ was actually talking. I actually understand. I was just as he was talking to me. I'm telling you, it got to a point that for whoever you want to be, please, after you have actually achieved what you want to be, for that big moment to come, you must create opportunities for others. You must allow others to come. And you know what? Shift. They are not asking you to go out of the way. Shift for them. You understand? So create space for them. Because one day they will talk about you. One day they might be the one to actually help you. That has actually happened to me several times. The people that I've trained will call me for opportunity. I got the first contract that I got here. I actually got the contract over $1 million. Was actually one of my friends said, I got this contract, can we do it together? I'm telling you, and these are people that I trained. So what am I trying to say? My time is up, right? What I'm actually trying to say is just that in all, please, you must actually understand who you are, your potentials. Then after that, research who you want to be. Then look at people that have actually done you have done, identify with them, connect, build solid relationship, be loyal, and at the same time go for necessary training, reskill and continue to upskill yourself, and at the same time create opportunities for others. And when you continue to do that, make sure you also create systems, because for that big moment to come, you need to make sure it's solidified, it has structure, and it has system in place. And that will be hard. I'm telling you, thank you so much for giving me the opportunity. And we'll actually start the conversation.
We are truly proud of you. Yes. Success.
That was a very powerful story.
Yeah.
So I was born on Christmas Day, right? And after being able to unmute my mic and rediscover myself, I started to realize that previously, right, Christmas Day, nobody forgets. So it's I get a lot of calls. But it was never about me. Everybody would just call, probably put up my picture, and immediately after my picture, you're seeing jollof rice, you're seeing them hanging out and enjoying themselves, right? And the more I discovered myself, I started to realize that thing was actually getting at me. So I was telling everybody around me just last year that I'm changing my date of birth. Celebrate me on that day, but I need a day that other people come and party with me, and it will be my day, that will be my time. So hearing you say you changed your name, I've been gingered that I can change it.
And I also changed Christmas Day. I was born on the 18th. So for more than 50 years, Christmas Day was my birthday. I told my parents, celebrate me on the 18th, not on 25. I'm telling you.
Very interesting. So I said that to say, you'll get an invite very soon. I'm changing my date of birth. Absolutely. That thing about something being impossible is only in your head. If you say you're success, you're right. If you say bad things only happen to me, you are correct. So it's like, what is serving you and what is not serving you? It's time to identify these things, right? So, it's very interesting how she talks. So she also talked about reading, how I was reading. I used to say that, I used to tell people that, people who say, I don't like reading, reading is not my thing. The truth is you just haven't found your passion. Yeah. Because when you find what you are passionate about, you will read. You will wake up in the middle of the night to take courses. People will be asking you, how are you doing it? You're not even saying that it's a big deal because it's what you are passionate about. So it's time to find that thing that you really like, that thing that you enjoy, and then, build on it. I think that her story was phenomenal.
Yes.
Sorry, I'm looking around, I'm trying to find my next one. So our next speaker is a young woman. The wealth magnet. I'll read her bio and I'll call her right up. So Dr. Temi Ajibewa. Money is more than numbers. It's about confidence, security, and the freedom to create impact. Dr. Temi Ajibewa, a renowned personal finance coach, an educator, has dedicated her career to helping high-achieving and high-earning women break free from financial stress and build lasting wealth. She also works with organizations to create financially empowered employees, boosting well-being, retention, and productivity. With a results-driven approach, she simplifies financial literacy, turning confusion into clarity and stress into strategy. At Unmute Your Mic, Dr. Temi will challenge the money mindset that keep people playing small. If you've ever felt stuck in financial cycles that don't serve your goals, this is your chance to unmute, break barriers, and step into true financial empowerment. Please welcome Dr. Temi.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening. It is so beautiful to be here. Thank you, Good Success. It's a pleasure to meet you in person
Yeah.
after the several connections we've had online. That was a beautiful story, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Let's give another round of applause for this. That was a beautiful session. And Dr. Tijani, please, I would like to also appreciate you. He's not here. Then Dr. Temi, thank you so much for putting this together. I really, really appreciate the honor to be here today. Thank you so much. Your story reminds me of one of my amazing friends in London, Fumi Teller. She said she was working at Lidl, like Walmart in London, and then she said one day she went for a birthday ceremony at a very big house. And she said, this is like where I want to live. And then she asked the people that, what do you guys do? And they said that they are mortgage brokers. So okay, I want to be a mortgage broker because you are living my life. This is the life I want to live. And that was how she became a mortgage broker. Now she's into real estate, she's into cleaning services. Or she just knew what she wanted. And when she saw it, she went all the way for it. Okay, so today, the speakers have done a beautiful job to the topic, and I'm just bringing a coaching angle to the conversation, right? And I know we all desire to grow, we desire to succeed, but I'm telling you that there are reasons why you will not unmute your mic. You come to classes like this, you learn the strategies, you get the framework, but you still will not. Why do you think that is? Well, in my line of work, I came up with 5 reasons why people still fear to unmute their mics. And the first one is the fear of visibility. That thing that we should do. They're like, no, I don't want to be visible. The fear of visibility and judgment. People fear that they will be judged. They worry about criticism. Like, oh, the imposter syndrome. I don't know enough. Or just to be seen. No, I don't want to be seen. I like to be behind the scene. You know that? So you will not unmute your mic if you are afraid of visibility. And I remember my story some 10, 12 years ago when I founded the brand The Millionaire Housewife. I remember I was living in a 1-bedroom apartment with my husband. And even though I was making some money, I didn't look like it. Because I'm not someone that enjoys spending money on myself to look flamboyant. There are things to do with money than to wear your money, right? And I remember this day I was doing a live stream, and a lady left a comment on my video. Say, guys, be careful, oh. This woman, she's likely to be a scam, oh. That this millionaire that does not look like 1,000 naira. Those were her words. And she judged me based on my looks. But of course, guess what? Years later, she came to my class. I said, I remember then, you didn't look like it. But here you are today. Even till date, her comment is still on my Facebook page. Where she left that nasty comment, it's still there among my reviews. So my point here is, yes, you may be afraid to be visible because you will be judged. I want us to do a reframing where you begin to see visibility as opportunities, not exposure. You are not being exposed. You are being positioned for opportunities.
That's right.
Can we agree on that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Say it with me, I am not being exposed.
I am not being exposed.
I am being positioned.
I am being positioned.
Thank you very much. The second reason why you will not unmute your mic is because you lack time and you feel overwhelmed. There is just so much to do. You have to go to work, do the hours, care for your children and your spouse, and build a career, and network, and study. There's so many things you want to do, advance your career. To you, building a personal brand sounds like an extra to do on your lists. Post on Instagram again. I have to post on LinkedIn. Was that for you? I know. Like, do a video. Not even say do video. Do that. Video is a million words in a picture. Like, I don't have the energy to do it. It feels like it's another work for you. I got in my brand when I was pregnant. I heard about it, that okay, it's a thing you do online. When I had my baby, I began with BBM groups. The one I know I could handle. You remember BBM groups there? Before WhatsApp became a thing, or even Instagram, we had BBM. So our status on BBM was where we used to update our profile to show what was new, and that was me. So it was just my profile I had, and I'll just change my picture. Then the status, you put some words there, so people will see what you are saying. That was how I just had to choose the easiest form for myself. And then I met a guy who used to send broadcasts. So I didn't have the energy to do it. I remember in Mekanobis, I'll pay him 5,000 naira, and he will send broadcasts on my behalf. And say, oh, if you're looking to buy cheap data bundles, my sister here sells. He had about 2,000, what do you call that name? Contacts on his BBM. It was called contacts then, right? Like he had followers and all those things. It was called contacts. And he would send broadcasts, and they would reach out to me. My point is, if you cannot, honestly, afford it on your table, why not delegate it? Why not find someone or a system, AI, that can help you do the job? At least that way it is still being done somehow. You're not left behind. So I was a law student. I also had a baby in my hand, but still I began. Why? Because I identified branding myself as a high impact activity. Branding yourself, branding your awesomeness, being visible, being positive, about what you carry, is not time wasting. It is a high impact activity. How many of us here really want to make an impact in life? That just, yes, I was there. Branding is how you do it. You may be the best lawyer, the best doctor, the best, give me the words, best nurse, the best. If you are not known, you are as good as not being best. In this age and time, I always say it, that it is not the best product that gets sold. It is the best known product that gets sold. You have to be known.
That's right.
Before year 2000, reality was higher, was greater than perception. When we came into the millennium, this millennium we are in, reality and perception became the same thing, thanks to technology. Facebook. So does it happen that you see that, and you think that you've seen them for a while?
Yeah.
You just see them on social media, you are fine now. They say, what happened? You haven't even called me. You haven't, checked up on me. See, I know you are fine. How? Because you see them on your status, on Instagram, posting. You assume what? They are fine. It is 2020 in COVID. I say that perception is now greater than reality. Because people now package for the ground. And so you believe them for what they say they are. Even when they are shallow. And then look at you there. All full, all real, all original, all tangible, yet no one knows your name. Has it happened that you go on the ground and you see some very shallow-minded content and your heart breaks? Like, what is going on with this generation? Has it happened to you?
Yeah.
Once a while, and the worst thing is that once you watch one, just scroll on, the next one is just feeding you that same thing. And then you are there, you have the content, you have the original value that can change destinies, and yet you are quiet. What did God do to that servant who hid his talents? Ma? What did God now say to him? The master, not God. The master tells the guy, There was a curse. And he said what? Go to hell.
Yeah. Out to darkness.
Utter darkness. Where you would wink and nobody would even see you.
That's right.
I hate to put that burden on your heart, but that's just the truth that happens. You now see the nonsense being put up, and what is going on, but you are quiet. This is why you will still not unmute yourself, because you see how it's too much. All this nonsense, all this Facebook is for all this Gen Y, Gen Z. It's not, no, it's if you have a message,
Put it out.
then thank you. Put it out. Put it out. The third reason why you don't unmute yourself is because you don't yet understand the return on investment of personal branding. It's not still a thing that is tangible to you yet. You don't see how it can benefit you. Now, let me tell you that posting about my brand online led me here. Everything I claimed to do, to be, to have, was verified by the US government, and it gave me a visa known as the O1 visa for individuals with extraordinary abilities. I didn't have the cash, but I said I impact people. This is proof. I run this event. This is proof. I impact this. I have books. And I was able to show my book was on Amazon. They could Google me. I was Googleable. I was Googleable. That brought me here. Let me tell you, there was a day in 2018. I went for an event with Tony Robbins in London. I was based in Nigeria then. And I remember going into that event. I took a picture with my friend who had insisted that I must go for that event. They mean, leave Nigeria, go for international conferences. Why are you always stuck with this your thing? And she challenged me. She said to me, if I put you in a room full of women who are high-powered, impact-driven, what would you tell them? Beyond this, your make money online, millionaire house. What if money is not their problem? What would you tell them? He said, you have to start shifting your mind.
That's right.
That you have to have a global message that can speak to kings and queens, not just the servants in the palace. Say, let's go. And so I traveled that time for the first time leaving my country to go and study. And I must tell you, the event was a 12,000 capacity event. My ticket was the cheapest ticket. Ask me how much. £1,000. And my own was, there was VIP, there was Emerald. What was not an Emerald? There was Premium. What are all those ruby? There was Ruby, there was one that you have lunch with Tony Robbins. I was in the cheap, I was at the back. But that event shifted my brain. That ticket was tickets to be in the room. Minus feeding, you still go and buy your food. Even water. They'll give you water if you faint. Because you know it's a very large hall in Excel Center in London. Very big. When you faint, they'll carry you to the back. And then they'll give you water for free. This is even that. To be a volunteer, two things. You must have been to the event before, and you must have the minimum ticket bought already. That means you must have paid $1,000, £1,000 to volunteer. You can't volunteer for free. I'm telling you. And then when I went for that event, I did a post on my Instagram about it. And for the first time, I saw people in my DMs who I had always admired that, when I grow up, I want to be like you. They were like, oh, Timmy, you were to know this event? Oh my God. They were not booking an appointment with me. That when can we meet? When will you be in Lagos? And I'm like, what? Because I dared to just show what I was up to, what I was doing. That is the return on investment of being intentional about your branding. So, the number 4 reason why you will not unmute your mic. I know it's counter topic, but I have to do it because we know these things, to be honest. If I have a blank board here and I say, just start giving me ideas on how to unmute your mic, that board will be full, wouldn't it? Yeah. But why are we still not doing it? Or why are those you know, maybe not you, why are those you know not doing it? It's this reason. Number 4 is a lot of us, we are stuck with perfection and overthinking. We want things to look a certain way, to be a certain way. Our accent should have at least increased, in the before we go out there. Yes. You believe that to be polished before you start. And I have this saying. I said, if you are not embarrassed by the first version of your work,
That's it.
You haven't
you
started.
started too late.
Yeah, I know.
If you are not embarrassed by the first version of your work, you began too late. Because to you, hey, this is good. I mean, 10 years later, you're going to say, who was? Recently I saw one of my videos. I was like, those who bought from me then. What did they see? I'm not joking, I was like, God. I had to start calling my
Your mouth
clients
is with me now.
There was a woman, she called me a rainbow. This woman was 54 years old. I think maybe I was 27, 26. You said, Temi Ajibewa, my rainbow. My life was in black and white until you came. Temi. I want to say, Temi, young enough to be my daughter, yet wise enough to be my coach. Oh, my coach. And I'm like, what did this woman see in me? I said, I need to thank my first ever clients. And maybe even dash them their money back. That thank you for believing in me and paying me this money to coach you. Because I really would not have hired myself. The way I was looking, I did not look like anything I was preaching. Guess what? My first book, it was so bad. I offered it for free and nobody was downloading it. Guess what? It's funny, please laugh. I'll tell you, the book was titled R.I.P. Reasoning. That was how mad the book was. And I'm like, this book was supposed to teach you how to find your business. How's R.I.P.? Ask me, I'll tell you how it started. I said, for you to find your dream business, you must first do retrospective reasoning. Think of your past and what you did very well. Then introspective reasoning, think of what you are now. And then what?
Periscopic.
No! Please get this.
Perspective.
God bless you. Perspective reasoning about the future. Yes. That was me trying to be polished. Reasoning. Reason retrospectively.
Rest in peace.
I did not know that was what was triggering people's mind when they see that. So I asked one of my coaches, what's his name now? Was it Victor? I think it was Victor Ekobasi. He said, what was that? I said, I know it's been the whole thing to him. He said, but when you send this book to me to give you a review, I did not see the title. The book was very plain and simple. What business should I start? No, he asked him, okay, why did you write this book? I said, okay, keep asking me, what business they can start? He said, okay, just give the book the title now. What business do I start? Simple. I said, but that's not really, she's not really true. And please don't blame me. I have a first degree in English language. I have LLB in law. I have to be polished. Please. And then he said, and guess what? I entitled the book and put an image of a woman that was by a laptop. And she was all looking confused. From being free download, I turned it into a paid book. I opened up pre-order, $2,000, naira, per book. I had over 200 pre-orders before it just by being, what is opposite of polish?
Real.
Simple. And with that since then,
Relatable.
all my books became very, very simple. My second book, How to Make Millions in Your Nightgown. Simple. Make money online. Be in your nightgown. And the second one, How to Make Millions doing what you love. So I became very simple, and someone said that clear beats clever every single time. Clear beats clever every single time. So do not wait to be perfect, to be polished, to be touched, in quotes, like me. Let's just go clear and go real and go simple with this message. Let's not overthink it. You don't have your wig on, it's okay. Just do that video. That will beat you.
Depends on who you are selling to. Depends on who you are selling to.
So,
This is my wig.
So, if you have your wig and you have it on and you're comfortable with your wig like that, go ahead and shoot the video. However, do not let not having a wig stop you from doing the video. That is the only thing there. If you feel very comfortable with your wig and it's with you already, go ahead. So I know people that they wear the wig and they shoot like 10 videos on that one day. That way for the next 2 weeks, no more videos. Exactly. You do your makeup for that one day, you do everything. But don't let, this is my hair, my background is not touche enough, this is not fine enough. There was a time when I came in 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago, I was living in an apartment. And I remember doing a video one day when I was taking a job, walking around. And then when somebody saw my video, took screenshots of the video clips and sent them to me and circled my background. And said to me, this your background is not looking like, like it. I said, but I was joking. He said, but still, should have used a more posh background. I said, if it affects you this much, I don't think I'm your coach. Now, mind you, she hasn't even paid me a dime. It's not as if she has even hired me or anything. I said, because those who really need my message, they don't mind my background. I was taking a walk. And once I'm back in the house, activities will take over my day. Let me just do this video once, because I was joking. Say, guys, your branding is this. I'm like, it was done. But this sister sent me clips of all the, like at least like 5 shots.
Oh, wow.
And she circled my background. I said, this part, this one is this. I said, madam, I'm going to do it the way I can afford to do it now. I will not going to have the microphones and the speakers, because that was not how I started. And if you go and check all the mega businesses in the world, they will always say that they began small. So you have a dream big, but you begin small. Again, if you are not embarrassed by the first version of your work, you began too late. So let us focus on progress over perfection. Let's focus on clarity over cleverness. Let's focus on being real over being posh. At least let's start from there. Once you can then afford all the trappings and eyes on the cake. Number 5 reason why you will not unmute your mic is when you don't know what to say. Such that even if the mic is unmuted, you will now become mute. Have you seen that happen before? You give somebody a mic and the mic is like this loud. I mean, imagine you are here now, you are quiet. This mic is unmuted, right? I put it in front of you. No, and you don't talk. You are ready, good. And you just go. What would you hear? Nothing. Because even though it's an unmute mic, so it's an amplifier. There has to be a voice bit into it. So you are afraid of miscommunicating. But guess what? If you don't begin the communication, what will you improve on? I must tell you, I don't know if you've noticed, I stammer, like I stutter. But guess what? Now I can string my sentences together. At least you are catching me, you are nodding. That means you get me, right? Years ago, oh my goodness. And I'm talking maybe like 7, 8 years ago. I could not string my sentence without going. Like, you think I wanted to have an episode of epilepsy. It was that terrible. But guess what? The more I spoke, the better I got. I never went for any speech therapy. Never did. I didn't read a book on it. Didn't watch a video on it. I never took a class on public speaking. The one time I was there in the public speaking class, I went to go and teach the public speakers. But the more I spoke, I knew I had a message. I knew I had a voice. And so just kept speaking. And today I'm a 2-time TEDx speaker. It's on their global platform. I've been awarded for speaking this, speaking that, speaking this. But the more I spoke, the more the stuttering reduced. The more I knew how to manage my words. Let me give you a behind the scene. Just now in my notes, my quote is, if you're not embarrassed by the first question of your work, you dash too late. I said you what? I didn't use it.
You arrived.
You began.
I used what began. You know why? Can you guess why? There's a plosive with the started. I would have over it. So I changed the word there to began. But I want to have, so that one went smoothly, right? You didn't notice it. Because I know that is it's a weakness. I would say a weakness. It's a situation around how I speak. But I know I have a voice. I have a message to pass across. I must do the best way to share it. So I got to notice I just, it doesn't flow. All the stuff, it doesn't usually flow. All the po, oh my God. So I know that, so I look for other words to replace where I know I could stumble. So I would say stammer. I would say stutter because you leave me here. I'm just saying it. So that is it. You don't know what to say, but you will not know what to say unless you begin to speak. You will not know what to improve on unless you even start. It is when you have the first draft, you can have version 1, right, ma'am? Then version 2 IT now. You're always upgrading, upgrading your system. But if you never publish the first version, how can we have
Version 2.
A better version.
3.
Yeah.
and then the upgrades? They will not come. My latest book, Your Faith Has Made You Broke. It's my best title yet.
I like that. Oh.
Everyone who hears me, oh my goodness! I had this title like 6 years ago. The book came out last year. But the first book was what? R.I.P. Listening. That failed woefully. It didn't even go on free download. I said, how bad can that be? You say, guys, free book, download it, and nobody's downloading. Like, waiting for something that R.I.P. It was that bad. I was in a Facebook group where people saw me as a community leader. I was in Jonobidi's group. People really loved me in that because I was always sharing in the community, Smart Beacon. And I said, my book is here. It's my gifts to the community, and nobody was downloading it. It was a tough one. But of course, I learned my lessons. So since then, what can people just see and they will get it in one line? But again, if you never publish the first version,
You won't know.
how can you will know? How can you improve on that? And I remember when there was a time I used to just teach from reading a book. So I read a book, then I'll teach it. I read a book, it was always so obvious that this person is teaching from a regurgitating. I mean, it was regurgitating. I was not being myself. Why? I did not have the full confidence that I had something worth sharing. That I had to go and listen to somebody, hear somebody, read somebody before I could pass on my message. And guess what? People knew. People could see it. So today I did a post on a group, and then the group leader, Victor, said to me, that post, where you see him? I said, it's my, I mean, say, I don't know you, but where did it come from? I said, actually, I read a book. The book title was Business Coaching. So I just took a chapter from it, I ChatGPT'd it. That was like 10 years ago. You know, I manually ChatGPT'd it. Why you laughing so hard? And then people could not relate that what's going on. And this is, but normally when I put up my posts, my stories, they comment. But this particular one was not flowing. People were like, something is wrong. And I want to tell you, in wrapping up these 5 reasons why you will not unmute your mic, is can you please learn to trust yourself more? Can you please stop being over familiar with yourself?
Yeah.
You feel, what do I know? How much do I know? Don't be too familiar with yourself. Yes, you know what you know, but guess what? You only need 10% more knowledge than the average guy on the streets for you to be considered an expert. Yes. If you read 3 books on a topic, you know more than the average person on the streets. So can you please share your story? Your story has way more impact, way more value. And don't ever discount your story. You say, what have I gone through? You don't need to have a soft-B story to connect with people. No. Some of us, like Donald Trump, we had like $1 million to begin our business. We're not poor, but we just a small thing that our dad just gave us to begin our, just $1 million. That is his story, and he's sticking to it. If to you it's not his spouse, that is his story. Tell yours. And I'll say finally, one solution to all the reasons why you don't unmute your mic. One solution that I have found to always work every single time when you're stuck, when it seems as if you don't know what to do, is to embed yourself in a system that is designed to support you to take action and to hold you accountable to take action. It was in October 2020, I had suffered a huge financial loss. I was repaying my debtors every month. Then this particular month, I said, please guys, don't let me pay you this month. Let me use this money to run ads so that I can make more money, then I'll pay you guys. Can you please allow me? Say, yeah, okay, it's no problem. That month I had $1 million and I ran ads with it. But then I learned a terrible lesson about money. Money hates desperation. Money hates desperation. I ran the ads that no, this one will blow, I'll make more money to pay my debt. And I ran the ads and nothing. Crickets. I'm telling you, man, it was that bad. Apparently my energy was off. People could not find it. I was just selling, like, you must buy your toys, you must buy oil, I'll just die already. That vibe was desperate. And I didn't get any sale from that. I was like in a worse situation than when I got in. But in that low moment, I knew something had to shift. So there was this program, Josh and Jill Stanton were promoting. They had these couple coaches. Bootcamp, $37. I paid for it. It was so good. They now sold us their 2K. I mean, I've been know those upsells that they do. Said $2,000. I don't have to, I just lost money. And then the wife said, I see your spirit. We can allow you to do a 12-month payment. I'm like, apparently it's a thing in America. But in Nigeria, who will trust you to pay 12 months? You will just carry the money out. Anyway, they said I could do $200 per month for 12 months. So I paid $2,400 versus $2,000 one-time payment. And I stand here as a child of the living God, in witness to you and God, in 12 months, implementing what I learned from that $2,000 course. I grew my business to over $100,000 in income business. In 12 months, implementing. I payments. I went to the course. I logged in, watched all the videos, very short videos, 7 minutes, 3 minutes. I hadn't seen such before. My own courses, 30 minutes long, with like 60 videos per lesson. Going for how much? $300. I now saw a 2K course, just about 15 lessons or so. And I'm like, okay. I told the course, I followed it to a T. And in 12 months, I was able to move to over 100. I was like, is this a fluke? I'll repeat this again next year. The following year again, I did the same. Shooting my goals again for that year. But I say it is because I put myself in a situation where I was accountable and I was set up for success. Coach, I don't know if you have an opportunity for people today to join a community, join a program where they can be held accountable to omitting their mic. It's not about the information. Let's call a spade a spade. If you know it so much, why haven't you done it? You need accountability. Humans are not designed to just be by themselves alone. You need, at the point, your parents should be guiding you. Not that you're your own parents. Get coaching, accountability, a system, a structure. I like your face. You're like, they really listen to me. Even you want to cut me short.
I want to unmute your mic.
Mute my mind.
Amplify.
You want to mute
You
your
want
mind.
to mute my mind. It's been my pleasure to be here this evening. Thank you so much for your attention. I honor you. God bless you.
Time for question.
After the last speaker. So, like everything that she has said is just to say you are enough. Start where you are. You are more than enough. So keep reminding yourself that you are enough. So we'll just jump because of time. We'll go straight to our next speaker, our convener, our host for today. Temitope Okeseeyin is a trailblazing force in the future of work, freelancing, and global career acceleration. As a Forbes Council member and expert vetted top 1% global talent recruitment specialist and a leading HR and AI consultant, she has spent years shaping the careers of professionals, empowering startups, and driving conversations at the intersection of technology, work, and human potential. Beyond HR tech, Temitope is a visionary entrepreneur, career coach, and advocate for extraordinary ability, a concept she embodies through her own journey as an O1 visa recipient, a designation reserved for individuals with exceptional talent and contributions. She is actively demystifying this path for others through coaching, courses, and a soon-to-be-released book on achieving extraordinary career success. Today, as we gather for the Unmute Your Mic event, we step into a space where limiting beliefs are shattered, where silent dreams find their voice, and where extraordinary individuals just like you are called to step into the global stage. And at the heart of this movement is a woman who has walked the journey herself, unmuted her own mic, and is now leading others to do the same. Please welcome the convener of
Thank you. What a day. Wow. After those phenomenal speeches, I don't know. I mean, do I still have to say something?
Yes,
job is done.
Yes,
Wow. But thank you so much, Dr. Success, for that powerful session. Thank you, Pastor TJ, for that powerful. You literally laid the foundation for today's session because you were the first speaker. Thank you for that foundation. So thank you so much. Thank you, Coach Daly, for your powerful session as well. I think for me, everybody actually, it's like you saw into my notes, right? Like everybody picked a piece of everything to talk about. In fact, my notes is on my phone. I couldn't access my phone, so I said, you know what? I'm a living proof of unmute your mind, so I'm just going to do this my way and my style. And I would like to start by sharing the history and the mystery behind this topic, unmute your mind, how it started. I mean, I love to talk about it a lot. I was at the executive women's this was a lot of English, right? So the governing women, right? You know, hosted by Lady Deborah just 2 weeks ago. Thank you for having me, sis. And I shared a bit about the unmute your mind actually. But I mean, so if you were there, permit me, I have to repeat myself because really today is about unmuting your mind. So I have to share the story and the history behind unmute your mind. But before that, oh, okay. I think I want to stay here so that I'm a little less distracted. So for me, over the last couple of years, even before I encountered this unmute your mind thing, I've been in my space doing all that I know to do. There was a time my mom was very sick I was a teenager, I think I was about 18. She was very sick. And there was a particular day she called me to her. She was in the hospital for like a month. And then she called me to say she wants to say something. I should get a pen and a journal. Right? She wants to tell me something. And this is somebody that has been sick for like 6 months. And I was the only one with her at that moment. And my last born, my elder siblings were in different places. One was in Abuja, the other one was somewhere in Lagos, and the other one who was with me had gone to work. So she said she wanted to say some things. I should get a pen and a paper. Right, so I quickly rushed and I found a paper somewhere, got the pen. And then suddenly she just said, never mind. I said, never mind, how? I'm the only one here who you can say what you want to say. I mean, she's been really sick for a long time. So I knew that what she wanted to say was very important, right? I don't know what it was, but it was very, very important. So I got a pen, I got a paper, and I tried to push. She didn't say anything. Later that night, I left her to go have my work because we rotated that way. So you come, you go, stay with her a few hours. So I left and I was eating when they called me that she was gone. No. And she never got to say what she wanted to say. I don't know the content of that. I don't know what she wanted to tell me. Maybe she had a dream because she had a gift of dreams. And for a long time, we're just wondering what was wrong with her. Really, like, okay, what is this? So that we know, because we're just treating the same thing, right? So for me, it was from that foundation, really. I was just a teenager. But it was so deep for me. My sister was like, why did you call me that she wanted to say something? We didn't even know what she wanted to say. I don't know. And everybody was crying like, maybe she wanted to tell us something, maybe anything. But whatever it was, right? She could have unmuted her mic and tell me what it was, but I don't know. I mean, and it's gone with that. But that was really me learning very early in life that sometimes there are very important things that people carry. And if you don't say it, you will never know. You'll keep wondering. There are gifts you carry. There are capacities you have. If you never unmute your mic, find the reason to say it out. Whether that thing is going to transform your life or not, we will never know. Whether it's going to give clarity to the confusion that you're currently experiencing, we will never get to know it because you're muted. But that was our experience. Let me talk about my own experience. So I got into the career space, started working, executive assistant, HR assistant, doing all that I could do. And then, as someone who naturally is an introvert, and people don't believe that I'm an introvert. No, I step into roles. That's not who I am. So where I need to talk or where I need to show up, I show up. Mm-hmm. But naturally, that might not be me. Mm-hmm. So don't confuse my role with who I am per time. So I wear different caps, right? And so naturally, I just want to be that person supporting behind the scene, like don't show my face. However, I knew from a very young age that what God has called me to do, who He has called me to become, is not just behind the scene. I needed to lead some people. I needed to liberate some people. I needed to show up for some people. My story would transform lives. And I cannot possibly do it the way I was going. And so I started doing the opposite of the things that comes natural to me. So you will see me joining choir in my school then, joining media and library where I get to present. My palms will be sweating, but I'm doing it anyway. Now, if you take the mic after me, you're like, wow, why is this lady, why is the mic so wet? But I'm doing it anyway. I'll be traveling on the bus, maybe night, going to school back and forth. I'll be offering to lead prayers in the public bus. My heart will be pounding so fast. I'll be shaking literally. but I'm doing it anyway. There was a time we had a guest of over 4,000 people in our school then. And I raised up my hand. I mean, they were talking, the VC, we had the governor of the state, they were all there, and they were asking what were the challenges we're having in the school. And people were talking about different things that were not related. The SUG government, they were fighting for, they needed a space for different things. But I knew that there were some things going on in our faculty and nobody was talking about it. My heart was beating really fast, but I still raised up my hand. So that has been me, never being that person who says, because I am reserved or because I'm an introvert, I'm going to remain that way. No. I have identified what God said in the Bible when He says that we're the light of the world, we're the city set on a hill that can never be hidden. And what that means literally is we have an assignment. So beyond positioning for your career, beyond building a personal brand, creating wealth, your personal wealth, mindset reengineering, I need us to know that the foundation of unmuting your mic is not so much about you. It's about the vision that God has given to you. And we might think we don't have the vision. It's a lie. It's a partnership between us and God, solving humanity problem. So the platform you've been given, the positions you've been given, the business that you have, the class that you're in, you are in that time for such a time as this. And so it's beyond you to unmute your mic. It's not about you. It's about the people, because some destinies will not rise if you don't unmute your mic. They are waiting and counting on you to do that. So I was in a Zoom session about 5 years ago, and then I was muted, and I think this has happened to the best of us. I mean, these things happen all the time. Mistakenly, I muted myself or somehow, and then I was talking, but I could see my mouth moving. So they said, "Tell me, are you speaking? I mean, your mouth is moving, but we can't hear you." I'm like, okay, I've said a lot, quite a lot. I had to start again. It happened again on Clubhouse. There's an app called Clubhouse. We go there for podcasting. 2020, 2019, we're always on that podcast. I mean, everybody was home. So we're just on Clubhouse doing different things at different times. And, I was always there. And the same thing. We're speaking for a long time, and then you realize that you're muted. And it dawned on me in that moment that this wasn't just my personal experience, that you can be very good and be isolated. You can be very talented, but you are broke. You can be speaking. You can have the potentials. You can have the gifts, the talent, but you are muted. Nobody knows about that skill. And so for me, I said, okay, this is becoming real. I needed to create a framework out of this to turn this and help me transform my own life. I mean, because nameless, faceless, who are you to become a person of extraordinary ability recognized by the United States government? Honestly, I don't have that background. Those days when we're hawking pure water in the park, hawking for my mom, or hawking anything, I'll be the one hiding behind. Every other person will be hawking, showing. I've always been that person, like, I just want to be here, like, hawking from the side of the door, so that, if you want to buy the door, just buy from here. So, I don't have a perfect background. If that is what people are looking for, I don't have that. Then moving from that person to growing, expanding, and then becoming the founder of a company that has attracted global recognition. We trained over 100,000 people. And just a few days ago, the HR and the World Bank reached out to me that I'll be coming on board to speak on artificial intelligence and human resources, the intersection of HR and AI at the World Bank. That is, these are the dreams we had. We're living in that moment. So for me, I'm just going to share that framework quickly, how all of this came to be, and how I personally think that everybody in this room, beyond thinking about the personal brand you want to build, beyond thinking about the page you want to create on Instagram, beyond thinking about all the things you want to do when you unmute your mind, because you need to do those things. You need to build your brand. You need to maybe brand colors, logos. You want to write a book. What are the expressions, right? Because unmute your mic, if you want to simplify it, it's really about your message. The people you send to and the platform. What is your message, right? What is God laying on your heart? Then the people you've been sent to. Not everybody will receive your message. Just like this unmute your mic, it's not for everybody. Regardless of no matter how big you paint this conversation, some people still think to me, honestly, it's not for me. I just want to be behind the scene. Behind the scene is my ministry, and I'm going to support fully, right? There are people like that, and it's okay. It's perfectly okay. So beyond all of that, this is what I think, Unmute Your Mic has helped people do in my community and can help you do. Number one is really the destination. To unmute your mic, where are you going? This is the way I like to phrase it, like, what are you pursuing? What is pursuing you? I have something I call the 30 laws of unmute your mic. I mean, I have that series going on my page right now. And something that looks closely to this is the law of vision. You cannot just wake up one day to say, I want to mute my mic, so today I want to start posting. There has to be a direction. Or for me, this is what I've been so scared to do. Maybe for me, it's to write a book. I don't know where to start. You need to know, who am I writing this for? That is the vision. That is the destination. And vision, like I said, is partnership with God to solve humanity's problem.
That's right.
So that is what gives you the right perspective to say, when you get out on the journey, you remember who sent you. That, okay, I'm not in this space for myself, and that is my story. When I started freelancing, right, for me, I knew I wanted to earn in foreign currencies. I mean, from Lagos, I tried Forex, they scammed me. Not that they scammed me, I lost the money. I'm not saying Forex is not good, people thrive in that space. I tried different things just to make that foreign currency. So when I found freelancing, which is consulting with your skills, working with international organizations with what you already know, I said, this is the space for me. So I started we started with $200 per month, I think. Then $600, then $2,400. This thing is getting real. And I was an HR, still an HR. Then I realized that I was helping these companies to recruit talent. And then after 6 months, after 2 months, they leave or they sack them. Or they resign. What is going on? There's a lot of anyhowness. A lot of our people will get the job, but they don't have the capacity to retain the job. So you get the job, you're on a Zoom call, you don't turn on your videos. Right? You feel like you're doing your job, you're showing up, but they can't feel your presence. And a lot of our people do that. It's called anyhowness. Sometimes you're speaking, the internet goes off. It's not your fault, it's the environment, the third world, but it's affecting your position. And that is why you see international organizations saying we don't want to recruit from that part of Africa. It's not your fault. It's not like you are not talented. You are good, but the surrounding situations is keeping you limited. So for me, I found out that it's beyond recruiting. I needed to also empower people to retain the opportunities. So you get the job, yes, after 2 months they send you away. And then by the time you get the email, it's things like communication skills, abysmal performance, like so poor. You are very good at your job, you think you are doing your job, but when it comes to communication, nowhere to be found. Soft skills, nowhere to be found. And that was when I began training. That was what led to the University of Freelancing. That if you are going to freelance, then come and learn how to do it right. You have the skills, beautiful. You have the technical skills, very good. You're a cybersecurity expert, you're a business analyst, you're an HR, you're an accountant. That is good, you have the skills. Then how do you deal with people? How do you communicate? What are you sending in an email? That was me unmuting my mind because that has led to a lot, even for me personally. So when I said, okay, we need to begin to empower our people, created a framework, started coaching. The platform, which is the largest freelancing platform in the world, called Upwork, they found somebody speaking somewhere. Who is this girl? And then they reached out to me. I created a course for them. My course is currently on the academy. This is a platform with over 22 million people.
Oh, wow.
I have a course on the academy. They featured me in their trainings. And I became a top 1% on that platform. And the top 1% means if the platform with 22 million people, what is 1%? I never thought I could get that. That is because I unmuted my mic. I've had the privilege of working with African development and all the companies I've had to work with because I unmuted my mic and helping people. But that was the vision. How can we get people to move in this space with me? Yes, I found my footing. Now I know freelancing. How can I help people? Because I realized that that was really the vision. And Architect Jumoke said something yesterday at an event that can God trust you with platform? Right, that if you're praying to get that platform, get that promotion, get that job, can God really trust you with that? Because that's really what he's concerned about. Like, can I put a vision in your heart as you have your own vision? Can you do something for me when you get, to that level? So the beginning of all of this is really the vision, the destination. So vision in partnership with God. I remember a story where they asked 2 bricklayers what they were doing. I mean, it's the same thing. Bricklayers, you're carrying block, you're doing the work. The first person said, I'm carrying blocks. And the other one said, well, I'm trying to build a cathedral.
Come on.
They're doing the same thing in terms of activity. We're doing the same thing. We're writing a book. We're both writing it. I post on Instagram, you post on Instagram. But there's a vision behind what I'm doing.
That's right.
So we're carrying blocks, but somebody is building a cathedral. The other one is carrying blocks. Vision.
Right.
It changes the perspective about what you are doing. So can God trust you? The second thing really, which is where it comes back to us, is the growth. To unmute your mic, you must grow. There is a version of you, and this is just being honest with ourselves, right? There is a version of you that can attract your next level. I've seen it, I've lived it. The person who is here today in America is not the same person that was back there in Nigeria 2 years ago. No. Yes, I might have the same face, maybe the same complexion, or a little bit darker, maybe a little bit fatter. I don't know. Whatever. Thanks to Orire, thanks to baby, you know. But it's not the same version that is standing here today. I mean, because who says you come to America in 6 months, you want to try to host an event? Like, who are you, really? Like, who do you think you are? People have been here 5 years, they've not done events, so where are you coming from? So for me, naturally, I mean, I'm not doing that. I'd rather do virtual. So there's a version of me that has been unlocked that says I'm going to do that event anyway, 2 people show up. So there's a version of you that needs to be unlocked for your next level. So to unmute your mic, you must identify the areas where you need to personally grow. And so you'll be very sincere with yourself. You must set goals around your development. I don't know whether that's financial, whether that is career, whether that is business, but as a person, human capital, it precedes financial capital. Because if you're not growing personally, even your finances will not grow. So growth, there is a version of you that needs to be unlocked. And I hope that as you mute your mind, as you go on this journey, thinking about in 2025, the remaining part of this year, what do I need to do to unmute my mind? What does unmute your mind means to you? And I think this is where I want everybody to personalize this. Like Coach Temi said, that you keep a board here, and we say, okay, tell me how to unmute your mind. Everybody will have something to say, honestly. And I'm hoping that we get to that part in the event, before we close, where we get to hear people's story. Where was that point where you turned on the mic? But what I'm saying is this, right? At every point in time in your life, you must identify what that mic looks like for you. What does your own next level look like? Sometimes people see what we do online and they try to do it, but because they don't understand, like we said, the vision. So when you get to that level, they're like, oh, okay, they are lost because that was not the goal. I shared something at the Borderless, the event we had 2 weeks ago at the International Women's Day. And I was talking about how sometimes we get awards, we get, public speaking engagements, and people are wondering, you people are just stressing yourself, which one is our award? You are posting it online, or people invited you, you are posting the flyer, or you are showing the speaking engagement. You don't know what we are doing, so don't worry. We know what we are doing. The people who know what they are doing, we know what we are doing. Yes, because there is a vision, there is a strategy. We know what we are doing, right? So, Forbes Black, I post it. You don't post your own, don't worry. And there is a reason, there is a vision, right? So, the third, which is where I'm going to go back to that scripture. But there's something fascinating about the 3 lepers in the Bible that I always find, interesting. These guys, and I almost wrote a book about them, but I think I'll see eventually write it. Like, why stay here and die was what they said. Because they were in their familiar, in their comfort zone, right? A lot of us are in our comfort zone. Like, why do I need to create? That's an example. I'm not saying you should create a page online. Why do I need an Instagram page? I have a good job. Why do I need another business? Especially in this America. So when you talk about online work here and you need to build a brand, people are like looking at you like, I don't understand. I'd rather get a social media manager. I have a job that is paying that is keeping me. People are busy here, and I understand that. And that's why I really started from the vision that God has given to you. When you realize that it's beyond work, it's beyond your 9 to 5, that we don't take up work in the kingdom, we take up assignment. Like Margaret said, I think she was not the one who said it, was somebody who said it, and she quoted it some years ago that we don't take up job, we take up assignment in the kingdom. Then it shifts everything for you. Like, okay, where I am today, okay, this is the reason. Now, why I went to that scripture was because when we get to the familiar, the comfort zone, we don't want to move, right? Because you have everything going on for you. I have the money. I have the resources. And what am I looking for? Why am I hosting an event? And let me be honest, there's a type of money I might have that I could have canceled this event. There's a type of money you can have. You're like, you know what? I don't understand which is how many people who got space. Let them go online. Let them pay for a coaching program. Yes, that's comfort zone. That's the comfort zone. But those guys just say, you know what? We've been here doing the same thing. Why sit here and die? And they took a step. So if you don't find the situation around you, if you don't see a reason to shift it, we'll just be shouting or mute your mind. Unmute your mic, position for greatness, unleash your potential. God is waiting for you. Just like the Bible says, the endless expectation of the Creator, they are waiting. They're just waiting for the manifestation of the sons of God. Apologies to the Muslim here, but I'm sure you guys have a version of that. Trust me, you do in the Quran. That everybody's just waiting for the manifestation of the sons of God. But if the sons of God don't rise, then they're gonna be there. So why sit here and die and then they move? So for me, the third thing I really want us to look at, leaving the comfort zone in 2025. One thing I want us to do as an actionable step after living here today is a 30 days challenge. I call it the 30 days of Meet Your Mind challenge. You are going to identify what you want to do in the next 30 days. Who you are going to impact in the next 30 days. How you want to impact them, or how you want to impact yourself in the next 30 days. Some of you, the vision is a book that you should have written 5 years ago. In the next 30 days, that's your challenge. Start writing, start drafting. And you're wondering, how do I start? Start chapters by chapters, pages by pages. You have stories, bring it out. Start using that as frameworks to write it. For some of you, you want to get a job, promotion. That is your assignment in the next 30 days. That is you meeting your mind. Because this is the age and time where people just think the job will come to you. It's not going to come to you. You go out there to get it. And beyond just applying for jobs, you know how many people are really applying for jobs? So you need to also be strategically positioned. And that is why we say unmute your mic even as a career professional. Because now even the HRs and the recruiters are coming to your page. So when they see that there is really nothing corresponding to your expertise and your experience, you are not the woman for the job. You are not the man for the job.
Yes, ma'am.
So you are not making noise when you position online. No, it's not noise. You are not among the noisemaker. That is why we begin with the vision. What is the strategy here? What am I positioning for? So that then gives you direction to say, okay, this is how we're going to go. I mean, because what is on my page that is bringing the world back? What is on my page that is bringing Upwork? What is on my page that is bringing the African Development Bank? There has to be something showing my expertise in the space that I am. So that is your challenge for the next 30 days. Identify the areas. I know what my challenge will be for the next 30 days. Some of you want to increase your income. You want to increase your impact. You want to increase your influence. You want to start a business. You have a business idea. You want to collaborate. Collaboration is a new competition. We don't compete with each other anymore. We collaborate. So for the next 30 days after today's program, I want that to be our assignment because I'm wrapping up already. We have a panel. Do I still have one? No, absolutely. I'm both time because I know we have a panel. We'll be able to go, really into details. But I just want to leave us with that word. That there is so much more going on around us that is bigger than us. And that's what I found out. That it's not so much about you, your family, your children, my baby, my work. No, it's beyond me. So unmuting my mic in this season is connecting to the source. That what would you have me do with what you have given to me? And what you are about to give to me. What would you have me do? I'm about to, step into a new season, maybe get a new job. What is the purpose of being in this space in this time? And I'm really, really hoping that every one of us will be able to identify that thing. I mean, Coach Timmy went through 5 things that could have kept you stuck, right? Pastor Chide talked about mindset reengineering because it's really about the mind. That's why we call the topic mindset reengineering and personal reinvention. I call myself the queen of reinvention. Just like Coach Sophie said, she's the queen of pivot. I want to pivot at different times, reinvent myself at different times of my life. So if it's not working, don't deceive yourself. If it's not working, find what works. That is unmuting your mind too. So I'm hoping that in the next few minutes, you begin to think about it because now this is why accountability comes in. You are going to tell us at least one thing you want to unmute your mind before you leave here today. And that will form your 30 days challenge. Everybody here will tell us that. At least one thing. It could be post more consistently. It could even be to learn makeup. Yeah. I was not telling me, for some time now that I need to learn how to make up. In the grand scheme of things, it's not important. But he says to me, how you show up? We don't have the opportunity to show up twice.
Come on.
Right? So
You did it.
I didn't do it. Exactly. Exactly why I used to learn how to do it. Because left for me, I'm like, in the grand scheme of things, don't worry, I'm a fine girl. I need to do it because I know you're a fine girl. But there are people that will meet you now, they won't have the privilege to meet you again. There's a way you will look that they won't even listen to you. So you tell them, I'll meet your mind, they're like, okay, I got you. But they don't have the right impression. So everything was aligned. Everything must begin to come together. So I just said that as an example. That might not be your call, but I'm just saying that every one of us here, for you could be to learn artificial intelligence, whatever it is, automate your work, create a system. Whatever it is, I'm hoping that you identify
Run your ads.
Run your ads. In me, I need to run that. Run your ads on Instagram. Do something. Change your head. Change your whatever it is. Find something Find an area you need to unmute your mic, and then you are going to share that with us. I'm sure there's so many areas, but just one is fine. That would be like the ritual. I don't know if ritual is the right word, but once we wrap up the panel, I would really love us to just quickly speak down, and then we'll be done. Thank you so much for the privilege.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Yeah. So we'll go straight into the panel session now. Can I please have all the speakers? People have water at the back. Water at the back. Pastor TJ, Dr. Katie, Dr.
Do you know how to do this thing? So I'm looking for orientation. I wanted to. Babe. Come. Sorry, ma'am.
To tilt it.
Yes, I've tilted it now, but it's saying this thing.
Orientation is locked to rotate device, but I think we can rotate on YouTube Live.
Okay.
I think that's a YouTube Live thing.
Okay, all right.
But let
Okay.
me see if I can rotate the phone itself.
Yeah, we can rotate the screen.
Let's see if that will make a difference.
That will make a difference.
I
No,
think
you
it's
can't do it.
YouTube
Okay,
thing.
I'll do this, man. Thank you, sir. I'm sorry. Yes.
Thank you very much, everybody. Yeah. I think my first question is, in your would everybody come to answer? Because I've come to realize that I think that's just how life is designed, right? That something has to trigger you have to get to that point, or you have to get to that point on the cliff where you realize that, see, if I don't make a move, if I don't change something, I'm done for, like, it's all over for me. So for me, for example, it was the loss of my son. And when that boy died, after all that we went through, so he was diagnosed with cancer at the age of 5, and he died 2 years after. And the doctors had said, oh, so we're in Nigeria, they said, oh, fly him out if you have resources, blah, blah, blah. So we came here, and that 2 years, I got here, found out that I was pregnant, so taking care of my sick child, being pregnant, I had another daughter, my husband was back in Nigeria, all of those things. And when he died, it was as if my life stopped. And it's like, this pain has to make sense. This thing, like, no, God, I didn't ask for this. Why has this happened? Like, it has to make sense. And then I found myself at a conference, and they were talking about mindset reengineering. They were talking about childhood traumas, talking about your emotions. You can learn about your emotions. My marriage will be 14 years in April. My marriage was hell. And I started learning all these things, and I started discovering the role that I had to play in the downfall of my marriage. All the while, if you ask me, my husband and Lucifer, they are the same one. My husband is a bad person, he's the one with the problems. He's the one that needs to fix himself. You know, but the more I learned these things, the more I started understanding myself, my strengths, my weaknesses, you know, all of these things started making sense. And now I use my voice to empower women. I use my platform now to guide, you know, women going navigating tough marriages, having issues with, you know, raising their kids because you transfer these things unknowingly. It's in your subconscious, you know. Anyway, I say that to say something happened that triggered me to go. So I would just like us to share, because sometimes people go through things and they think it's just me. Why me? I always tell people, if you ask stupid questions, you get stupid answers. So the quality of your questions will help you with, you know, with the answers you will get. So see, why not you? Maybe it's even happening for you because it's in that place of crisis that you find your purpose, right? So if you re-engineer your mind to like know the right questions to ask and see things differently, maybe from there you'll be able to unmute your mind. So I'd just like us to briefly share, you know, what was that point? Where did you get get to that you realize that you had to do something to trigger a change? Dr. TJ.
Oh, Lord Jesus. Ladies first. This powerful house. You know, I think it's very deep because we are all the makeup of our lives experience. I've stopped to, I've learned to give more grace to people now because I see that there are triggers. If you see someone who consistently reacts, underreacts, overreacts, is something gets triggered, it comes from a place of trauma and experience. And the reason why I've learned to always unmute my mic is because I grew up in an environment where nobody gave me an opportunity. People just didn't care. I was a child that was shipped to boarding school in Jos at 10 years old. Boarding school. I was a child that didn't have a single visiting day from his parents, 6 years. I was a child who saw everybody's parents came in with stuff. And so, I mean, I've learned to carry all that and make it a burden to never make nobody feel like that. So, and that's why unmuting mics or helping people to, it took me a long time. But now that I'm older, I came to realize that the things that the only way you would give grace to the worst kind of people is understanding the extent of grace that we have been given. So I understand the extent of grace that God has given me, and people will say, don't get angry. It's just that I've learned to process. My mentor, Miles Monroe, says that I was listening to how to manage your emotions or anger. So, and Miles Monroe says that there's nobody who is patient or angry. It's because you have not found yourself to be disciplined and understanding the extent of grace that God has given you. So, I have children, and I always tell you that I'm nice. You never want to see the worst part of me. That's why I lean on Jesus. Because in 1 second outside Jesus, I'm the worst kind of human being that you can ever meet. So that for me is I've learned that always keeps me to create higher standards. So if you want to run 10 miles, I'm ready to run 50. Because I have to keep on muting my mic every single day. You achieve something that you don't get tired. It's because what I did yesterday is yesterday. I want to be able to, to do that. Is that a bad thing? Maybe there should be a balance to the way that I do it. But I feel that is very, very important. Everything that we do is from a place of trauma. And if we don't identify that, our strength can become our weakness, and our weakness can become our strength. And also, we treat bad people good, and we treat good people bad. And they will never forget.
Well, I think that question is deep.
It's deep.
Really. And the next thing I want to say will really surprise everybody. I was actually that child that was actually born very sick. And I was that kind of person that my parents never knew that I'm going to grow as soon as this. When I was actually 5, they were looking forward to when I would be 10. When I was 10, they were looking forward to when I would be 50. And very soon, I'll be 50. I'm telling you. Yeah, I always like to say, can you guess my age? I'm telling you, everything that is said, I will never amount to, I will never do in my life. I think I've broken my own personal record. I'm telling you, I've surpassed it. And I'm just getting started. I saw my mom yesterday. Whenever I call my mom, what's up, Daddy? Relax. Don't worry. I got myself. I'm telling you. You see, I was that child that when it rains, my parents will look for me. I was that child that if I eat too much, it's a problem. If I drink water too much, it's a problem. But I'm telling you how God did it. I never did.
God did it.
God did it.
God did it.
I'm telling you. So at every particular point in time, I always want to make sure I push myself. I don't allow anybody to push me. I always want to push myself. I always tell myself, I got this.
You got it.
I'm telling you, coming to America, I'm not the type that's supposed to come to America. If I cannot stay under rain, can I stay inside the tutu? Let me use that word. But let me tell you, I even now chew highs. I chew highs as if I'm meeting snack. You understand? Say? Before I could see, when I wake up in the morning, they have to use hot water to clean my face, for me to see. This my eyes was brown. Look at how beautiful it is today. I'm telling you, when I was in primary school, I missed so many exams, but I came the best in the school. When I was in secondary school, I missed so many exams. I'm telling you, I missed so many classes, but I came the best in the school. When I was in the university, when I got into the university, my dad would always come every weekend. When it's Friday, you see my dad outside. But I said, I relax now. When I got to the second year, I became the first spring president in the school. My daddy looked at me. How are you today while you are alive? Don't worry, Daddy. I'm going to do this. I contested, and I became first spring president in my school. When I finished, I said, I'm not actually going to serve. I'm going to look for political appointment. I became PA to the Minister for Women Affairs. After that, I became PA to the Minister for Power and State, Olusegun Ogago. I've always been pushing myself. I don't want to settle. I don't want to remember anything about my health. I don't want to remember any limitation I had in my body. You understand? I don't want anybody to tell me. Should I shock you? If I don't look at you in the mouth, I don't hear you. But can you even guess it?
No.
Unless I tell you. So don't let anything push you behind. I'm telling you, sometimes when you talk to me, I use that to come and watch your mouth so that I can hear you clearly. But there was time my parents were actually very concerned. She doesn't hear properly. They took me to deaf and hearing school. When I got there, they thought I was going to change to the deaf section. But I finished in the hearing section. I got my own personality. I'm telling you, it got to a particular point that they said, she should only sit in the front. Me, I only sit anywhere. And I would struggle, I would do everything. My glasses inside my bag. As a class, I said I must sit without my glasses. Yeah. I always love to push myself and also to make sure that I continue to break my own personality. Hey. Nothing should be missed.
I think that session should have
No, they're hiding from something.
No. So I think what led me to unmute my mind, the incident that led me was when I changed my mobile phone. Thank you. I changed my mobile device from BlackBerry to an Android device, and I wanted to get access to cheap data bundles. And I asked around in my class, and there was a girl who sent me details of a particular guy who I could get cheap data bundles from the guy. And so I reached out to the guy. I was able to buy from him. It was very cheap. MTN 1 gig from him was 1,500. From MTN themselves, it was 3,000 naira. So that like double the price. So I mean half what they were offering. Anyway, I bought from him, and I'm like, whoa, it was my first time of buying anything online. Before then, I didn't understand buy online. Like, no, I must see you to give you money and then receive from you. But this time around, I sent him money. I till date, I'm not sure what state he lives in Nigeria. And he sent me this bundle. The thing worked on my phone. I'm like, okay, it's working. Then I also got into the SIM on my modem. It also worked on my computer. So this is good. So I asked the guy, can he teach me? And then he said no. That I would become his competition. That the guy who sends me to him will begin to buy from me. Exactly. And so, no. So I went on Google, went to go and search for the business, and Google taught me the codes, but forgot to teach me the business. So I learned the codes of the business, but in 3-4 months, I had lost all the money I had made from the business. And so it was shattering for me, but then I now used Google again to find a trainer, somebody who was willing to teach me. And so I paid the guy taught me. And within 3 months, I was able to make much more than I had even, invested. And within 3 months, I had done like $1 million cumulatively from the business. And then I now began to teach others. So I said, I will not let the suffering I went through. So, it's not what you also went through. I mean, that kind of decision. So I'm like, because if that guy refused to teach me, and somehow I not learned it, I would not become the millionaire housewife. A woman who was just using a techno phone in the house, and I was making so much money from home. I mean, in a month, 300,000 naira, not like a bank branch manager's salary back then. That's like 10 years ago in Nigeria. So I said, I will not let people also suffer the same problem. And that was how I began to teach other women how to do the business. So for me, it was when somebody refused me, I said no. I would change the story, right? And that was how I began to teach others. And I remember there was a day I was in the class in a WhatsApp group, BBM group, teaching them, and then somebody called me coach in the class. This was like, I think, October, November 2016. And I'm like, coach, what? I'm not your coach. There's no way I'm a coach. I'm just training you. I was so afraid of that title, coach. And so I called one of my friends and I said, Sam, I said, Sam, I don't understand this. You're like the coach. How far? They tell me, if they call you coach, it's because you have been coaching. I'm like, okay, what should I do? They said, take this certification program, take this course, do your NLP, and then you can now have the tools to really help people. And that was what changed my life from just being an English graduate to being a law graduate to becoming a coach, and never ever using any of my degrees. With the 11 years I spent in school studying those two courses and then just shifting to coaching. It was that guy who refused me that even if I had just taught me straight, maybe I would take it so seriously. But because he refused me and the pain I felt and the loss I could have, had, I said, you know what, I will change somebody else's story. And that was it for me. Thank you.
Wow, after this experience, I usually I mean, unmute your mic is literally my life, like I said. And every point in time, I have had to unmute my mic to move to the next level. That's why I said I'm the queen of reinvention. Right? To get to where I am today, it was another level of unmuting my mic. To create and found the rest of finance, it was a level of unmuting my mic. But there was something I didn't share when I was talking about my story. Why I desired to start working for myself. And that's the reason why I work for myself too. So for me, that was another level of unmuting my mic. That if I'm going to work with anybody, it will be under a different arrangement. Consulting, contracting, coaching, courses, community. But it won't be a typical 9 to 5. And that's because sometimes I think to unmute your mind, sometimes God just wants to shift you, make you uncomfortable in the spaces that you're in. So there was a company I worked with many years ago that I worked with. I respected the CEO. I mean, I was working at a very close capacity with him. They had only one child, right? And then suddenly the CEO said, you know what? I want you to carry a child for me. Like, where is this coming from? I mean, he had tried to, date you, that's not working. He said, okay, you know what we're going through in the house. Can you carry a child? You leave Nigeria, you go to Dubai, you tell your family, your boyfriend that, you're going for study, I'll pay for everything.
All the freelancing.
I mean, freelancing. That's the baby. Yeah, absolutely. And then, when you're done, bring the baby. So is this an arrangement with my wife? Bring the baby, yes, so yes. He wasn't pleased that way that time. He wanted to, and then he said he was going to pay me 10 million naira. My salary was 80,000 naira. So he said he was going to pay me 10 million naira. Yes, I mean more than, I don't know. So per month, 80,000 naira. So when I said no, and no consistency, he started owing me salary. So 2 months, no salary. 3 months, no salary. 4 months, no salary. And I came to that location because of that organization. And so I said, what is going on? After some months, I knew I needed to stop. Because they were not even showing up. They were not even coming to the office. They don't even want to see me face to face. Right. And so I knew I needed to leave. So that was one experience. But when it happened the second time, this time around, I resigned because I saw someone that was going to pay me times 10. I met the man at the airport. And then we had a very good conversation. I said, where are you working? Well, this man working 150,000 per month. I have a car. Just 2 years after that first experience, they gave me a case. Don't worry, we'll give you a lecture. So which one do you want? You're going to be the head of the HR. You do this, you do that. And then by January of the following year, it was December. I had resigned in that December that I wasn't going to come back the following year because now God has showed up for me. I have a job that was going to pay me times 10. Then secondly, it was a season of fasting for us in church, January. So everything was aligning, right? God is answering the prayer. But during the period of the man will call me, look, can you come out? Can we go out? And this thing is not looking like a job. So it's not aligning. It's not aligning. No. So I said, there had to be something. Not that I don't like 9 to 5, but there has to be something that keeps me independent. I want to work on my own terms. Right? And a lot of women and ladies go through this, but they don't talk about it. A lot of us go through, but we don't talk about it. So I said, I want to do something independent. Consult, work for you, remotely, most importantly. And that was when I found freelancing. And that was how I unmuted my mic. I started freelancing for myself, and now we have trained over 100,000 talent. Before I left Nigeria, the company was already registered in the United States. 70% of our students were from North America, Canada, across the world. And that was because I dared to start. Because we're like, why are you starting your own business? At what age? What's the problem? Like, people better to calm down. People will tell you not to start your own because they feel like, what have you learned? Calm down. But our journey is different. This is in that season, me unmuting my mic, starting this in that season. So started a training, started a HR consulting firm as well, called Reengineering Africa, where we recruit for people and do all of that. So for me, it's one of those, among many others, one of those pivoting moments that I knew that 9 to 5 is good, I love it, I still love it, but I'm just going to do it now on a different terms, on my own terms. I still love it, I love to work with people, that's what I do through my consulting and contracting and freelancing, but it's going to be on my terms. And that is me standing against what is the norm to say, I'm going to use my mic, and this is the way of my mind.
All right, thank you.
I am easily boiling your cheek.
Yeah, that's the other one.
Alright, thank you very much for sharing. So, Dr. Success, I have a question for you. So, you built platforms that empower people to learn and to grow. And so, my question is, how do you think AI and technology can help individuals amplify their voices and to be?
That's a beautiful question. When it comes to AI technology generally, it has great ways that help people to unmute or amplify their voices. I'm sure you will ask people what is AI. Everybody will say ChatGPT.
Yes.
But the truth is ChatGPT is not AI. It's a use case only. And I'm so sure it's actually a lot of people know how to use ChatGPT. So it helps people to actually generate content, generate ideas, analyze data, and stuff like that. So in this ways, AI is actually really helping people to augment their capability and capacity. And let me talk about GMind. GMind AI is for education, to help teachers, mostly educators and learners, to automate education workflows. And really, teachers actually generate their lesson notes, generate their content, be able to analyze their students, assess them, and create a personalized learning path for them. One thing that is, like I categorically say that with our users, I'm telling you, a whole lot of them get feedback almost every minute. In fact, we needed to go and create a kind of platform for feedbacks. We get feedbacks, how AI is really actually helping them work. At least, if AI can actually help you to save about 24 hours, so you now have time to be able to focus on your main, which is actually teaching and supporting the students. So all those administrative tasks have been really well taken care of. So teachers' capacity have been really strengthened. They have more time, even for themselves. You are a human being. You understand? So you also need time to balance work-life balance. Very happen to you now. So with that, all those things that they are, let me say that they are repetitive tasks, administrative tasks. Can you give it to AI to handle for you? Then you focus on training the students, focus on actually supporting them. This is actually what we do. But there's something about it that I also want to say. Those of us creating AI solution, we also need to actually make sure that we have our users in mind. We should not, there's a way you can create AI in such a way that it will not And do not amplify their voice. It will mute their voice because you are adding additional tasks. There's something we call cognitive tasks. You are adding it to them. Take it for example, on our platform, we have what we know as prompt assist. We know that our teachers, we've trained over 200,000 teachers. We realize that teachers, we're not going to help them if we have them to go and take PhD in prompt engineering before they can actually use AI. A whole lot of them, this is their first time of using technology. And lots of them, they are even hearing AI for the first time. They're even getting scared of using AI. You now ask them to go and learn prompt engineering. And so what we did, we created prompt assistants. So we just tell them, just saying the way it is, our platform will help you to put all the prompts together and you're able to generate quality content. You will not just do that, you generate consistently and also at scale. We need another thing. We know that a lot of times you want to create content, but you don't want to be left alone. And so we created collaborative features so that you can be in London, the other person can be in US, the other person can be in Edo State. You can actually work together in real time, create content, analyze data, do a whole lot of things. And by so doing, they love it, and so they used to call themselves, let's join online, or do you mind, let's work together. All these ways, what are we doing? We're trying to not just help them to lead their mind, but to amplify their work. And now, I'm telling you, my users, they are always happy, and they are always finding the AI very, very interesting.
Thank you.
Which are among them? Which are
I
among
found out that there are
them?
home coaches and
Everybody is like
almost
a
everybody.
So, Dr. Adido, yes. So you coach women on building wealth and reducing financial anxiety. What are the first few steps someone can take to take control? First three. Okay. So please continue to concentrate on that here is paycheck to paycheck, monthly bill.
Yes, my clients are in the US.
So what are the first three steps?
Okay. Well, yes, I'm in actually. Okay. This might be okay. My framework has 6 steps, but the top 3 would always be first is the mental reengineering around wealth building. A lot of women struggle with building wealth because of our mindsets about money. That's what my book, The Faith Has Made Me Broke, is about. Because it's the faith there means the mentality that you have about money. Personally, growing up, I had 3 standing thoughts about rich people. Number 1, they are ritualists. Yeah. Number 2, they are mean. And number 3, they are scammers. So first, they are ritualists because the first movie I saw where there was this huge display of opulence, the guy was a ritualist. It was a beautiful house, water bed, and then towards the end of the movie, I saw that his wife, his wife's ghost that appeared to him. Apparently, he had used his wife for rituals. His first son went mad. Apparently, things had to just fall for him. So my thought is that rich equals to rituals, that it was a negative thing. My mom also has something against rich people, apparently for my dad. So whenever a rich car, a big, nice car passed by, my mom would sneer. So that usually means that people with, how do you say it?
Bush money.
No, like weed money, like a bad money. Like the money is not clean. No, the money is weed. The money is good. So weed.
You said the goal is not good. I said the goal is good.
Right, it goes bush.
Not that anyway.
It's an analogy. It's an analogy.
Yes, exactly. Yes. So in this case, so for me, whenever I also saw that, that was also transferred to me. That even before I knew the meaning of the sentence itself, I just kind of hated, people like that. And of course, again, that there are also scammers. That once you have money, you just want to shady, So you might have given bribe or received bribe to make money. Because I wanted to be clean. I didn't want to be a ritualist. I didn't want to be a scammer. So it was just okay to be poor and be good, you know, and be good in my books. That was my personal experience with, you know, wealth. And in working with women, I've heard a lot. Okay, money does not grow on trees. It is hard to make money. Things like money is just about evil. That one is even like biblically wrong, you know, when they say such things. And so, first is, what do you think about money? That will go a long way. So you must first re-engineer your mind about money. Then number two is, how much of your money do you manage? A lot of us want to control money. You don't control relationships. If I'm controlling as friends, you will hate me. You want to manage the money so that the money is not the one managing you. So when the money comes in, you know, you tell it where to go. That's where we say budgeting. But some people have issues with that word. So I always say, wisely allocating your resources. It's not budgeting. Just wisely allocate it. This one should go here. That one should. It's not really how much you're making. It's how much you're able to manage. Because the money can keep coming and flowing. I have a client who happens to be earning over $5,000 every month and only on 2 jobs. And she said before the second job came a year ago, she was living, she was okay. But the extra 2 something came on, and then she said she doesn't know where it goes to. So I said, you know, let's print your statements in the last 3 months. And we saw it. She had 17 subscriptions. I'm not joking. On our first call, I said, this 17, can we pull off 7 from it? Say, coach, you know, this one is Disney, this one, my son gets this one. And that day, I think that day she, on the call, about 2 went off. Then, after about 3 days, I went to her sheet. I said, 7 were already off. I'm like, wow, how do you feel? She said, coach, I feel so relieved. I now feel that I know what I'm doing. Right? And then again, she's been in these terrible debts for like 3-4 years. According to her, she's been paying. Apparently, she's on all this, you know, APR that's never ending. I said, call them. How much is left? I said, coach, you know that the money is meaning $10,000. How much did you borrow? $12,000. Since when? 4 years ago.
That's reality.
So there was a time she went through issues, and then they said, you know what, don't worry. We can give you 6 months to pay. But the interest was still running. I said, ask them, what does it take for you to finish this debt in a year? Yep. You know, so we have such real issues where you're not just noticing where your money is going to. This is somebody whose rent is just 1.4 out of 5.4. So there was still solid 4,000 to do stuff with. But there were other things getting the money. There was this insurance that she was paying for for TV that has even gone past insurance. She was even paying it every month. So until you track, you see know what I'm losing.
Yes.
So I always say manage. That I mean, and then they tell you, just do this small one, advance. Then you can pay the rest for the next 24 months. You're spending tomorrow's fortune. What happens to you if, for any reason, you cannot pay that extra? It affects your credit score, and then it also reduces what you can get opportunities, too. So that is also a major thing that you want to work on. The third one, I want to choose between income stream or investment. I would say investment because a lot of us know that we just need to put our money in somewhere else. Our money has to work for us. So they say a penny. A penny what now? A penny saved is a penny something. No, a penny saved is a penny depreciated. A dollar saved is a dollar, because averagely you will lose 2% of your dollar every year. Yeah. Don't save it. Invest it. And it's so beautiful how cheap these stocks can be. When I bought Tesla, it was like 180 something or the $1 for something dollars, which is even like expensive. I'm like, when it was some 3, 4, 5 years ago, right? It's amazing how cheap these stocks can be and how easy. Go to Fidelity account, Fidelity investment, open the account there, link it to your personal account, and then study the stocks. Look at the how it has grown. You see, it's very, very easy. You can see what it was in 1972, what it is in 1992, 1992. You can see the trajectory, and you can choose the one to. And if you're not so sure, just go online and go and watch some YouTube video on the stocks, and then put your money here, put your money. And I always tell you, invest according to your risk appetite. Invest high risk, mid risk, low risk. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. That was how I got into debt of over $200,000 7 years ago. It was from putting all my money in one basket. So I say put some here, some there, and then that way your money can work for you, and you can begin to earn some returns on your, at least all your income will not be from your job. It's too dangerous to have one stream of income. There should be at least one cover coming from somewhere that you don't have to work for directly. And we have so many opportunities these days. So many opportunities. Create a course, write a book, freelance on something, coach, consult, speak my brain sessions, have affiliate marketing. What's this? Drop shipping. There's so many opportunities these days. Content creation.
But this one question. I was wondering if you had asked 3 questions.
I use my mic and listen. Thank you very much.
I see the fire.
That's a coach there, right?
Awesome.
I read something at some point that people think that having money, like cash, physical cash, that means you are wealthy. But that's not true. If you have people around you, if you have people that can really look for you can be better and you can actually have this money. And you are the king of relationships,
Connection.
of connection.
Network.
Let me put it simply, by we specialize in bridging the gap between people and opportunities. So my question to you, what are the key elements of building meaningful relationships that can truly amplify one person's career?
Sincerely, I would say authenticity, but also make sure that you don't make people think that you want something from them, that you're trying to give value to them, and that it has to be authentic and genuine. I realize that whenever you are authentic with people and you come from a place of value, you will still get something after that. There's still the profit of all that you will get from the beginning. And I've also learned never ever to use people over things. Some people use things over people. I make sure that I don't use people over. I'm a very and I learned that in very hard ways. So growing up, my parents were separated when I was 8 years old. So I had these cousins who were living in Abeokuta, and they were living in a Barra housing estate. I was born in a one-bedroom in Mushin that multiple people have to queue up before they have their bath. And it was not even WC. It was Shanga. I was trying to
Kids lottery.
yeah, and then which was in Mushin, and then but I used to go to those my cousins' house in the Barra House. Across the street of the house where I was is the Central Bank of Ogun State's house, is the Commissioner of Police's house, is the Secretary to Ogun State Government's house. And those were my cousins. So, and because of where I was coming from, I imagine the transition from Mushin to Ibarra. How I used to, it's not that I grew older, that I looked back and was like, wow. So these things can influence you for the rest of your life. So I became friends with some of the children, some of that. So in fact, the former Minister of Finance married one of my auntie. and the Commissioner of Police son married man. They both live in Canada. Wonderful, wonderful people. But one thing I saw predominantly in them was what I'm trying to tell you now, that even though they were richer, they gave me the opportunity to be able to be myself more than when I was among the poor people. So they gave me authentic relationship. They were not, I was, oh Lord, I'm say I was a stubborn child. I don't know why. I mean, my brother was here now, my brother can please pastor and teach, So, and I'm saying this because every relationship in our life has a ripple effect into our future.
Yeah.
You would think that you can easily be rude to people and say, oh, that's how I am. And you realize that there's a job that you wanted to go for, and the person that you were rude to is someone who is going to employ you. So I grew up very, very, I had access. So I've learned to be in spaces where there are people of repute, but I also have the way of respecting, honoring, not taking that for granted. It's so worse that when I worked for PDP 4 years, I had the opportunity to add my wife's name to NSITF employment, and I did not do it. Because if I had to do it, I had to remove somebody's name, I had to deprive somebody's child from that, and I didn't do it. And a lot of my people in our church got it. When I was working for Everify, they had authority, we revoked people's properties, we did land verification. Mr. Manal will understand this. They gave our names to, they took somebody, they were removing people's name, they put it their name. I said, please don't replace my name with anybody's name. Give me the land in Piakasa, which is an outskirt. It's based off this. So when you see people today who you consider of high repute, and you see that I'm around, it's because there's something that they've seen. Trust me, people who know that you're self-entitled to them will not give you access. Right? So I've been, and since then, so I've learned to be authentic to myself. Trust me, I don't like to be fake, right? Because you would have lost friends as enemies, and you'd have taken enemies as friends. It's so profound. When I came to the United States, we stayed in somebody's house for 3 weeks. And my wife called me and said she wasn't going to stay there any longer. And I said, why? She says, because she noticed how the person who we knew from when we were in Nigeria, in fact, I named 2 of their children, right, as their pastor, treated Murioluwa between hot hand. Because what you're saying there is that if the eyes don't see you, if people are not there, there's a way you will treat people. You will never ever find me treat people differently from the way I treat them when they're in front of me. So people will open doors for you. If you meet great people and they shut the door, trust me, it's not because they hate you. There's something about you that you're sending to them that they don't want you in that circle. I don't know if that answers your question.
Thank you very much. So my question is 21 for you. So for anyone in the audience today who, people who are ready to unmute their mic, but they don't know where to start. From everything that we have discussed today, we have seen that reinvention is necessary, right? So my question is, what are the key personal growth steps necessary for anyone to face?
So I think that in the process of having the conversation that we had today, we even delivered answer some of those questions. I had a gift. Someone gave me a gift when we were in school in university. I think I was in 200 level, and it was wrapped weirdly. Right? It was wrapped with newspaper. So newspapers. It was round like a watermelon, and then there was a lot of sellotape on it. I don't know what kind of wala is this? Like, why is it? Is this a gift or a stress? Because it said unwrap it. They are too stubborn. I said, this thing is a lot of stress. So I carried blade and I was trying to cut it. But he said, you will break whatever is inside. I think you should unwrap it carefully. And eventually, by the time I unwrapped it, it was the latest BlackBerry phone then. It was one of the latest phones then. And that, of course, it taught me a lesson in that moment that beautiful things are sometimes wrapped, in ugly wrappers, right? Like they're beautiful people, they're beautiful messages that are really wrapped in a way that you cannot see them. we see in part, we don't see everything into it. We're not God. We're not Alpha and Omega that sees the end from the beginning. So there is a God who does that. There's a God that sees the end from the beginning, but you are not that person. So I would direct you back to that God. Because every one of us, no matter how ugly you think you are in life right now, or messy your experiences or your journey are, there is beauty in that ashes. And there's something God is commissioning you to do. I mean, you shared your story, I'm like, wow. So it was from some place, right? So when people see you today talk about trauma to triumph, they're like, what these people do, they read it in a book. No, she went through fires, right? And every single one of us that have been commissioned. So go back to that God. I call him the God of my journey, right? So there is a message in that mess. There's something. That is number one. If anybody's thinking about what to do now. Because a lot of times we're turning ourselves to coaches, consultants, big English, and God is just really looking like, okay, you are different. Calm down, relax. This lesson is good, but it's big. Calm down. Where is the source? If not, we'll be teaching people just from our pain. Right? Just from our pain. But who told you that curriculum is good enough to transform people? Right? So I always direct people back to God. Because even I am still on that journey. So it's God. Then number two, you also have to then be honest with yourself. If you don't take a step, to unmute your mic, if you sit down to say they're going to give, we don't wait for platforms anymore. We create our own platform. So if you say, because I'm this, I've been commissioned to this, I've been sent to teenagers, or I'm sent to women, or women in corporate, and I'm waiting, they will identify. They will not identify anything. They won't see you. So this is where you unmuting your mic, when you're showing up, then you begin to show up. Identify the places to show up. Are there platforms? Now so that's like your message and your platform. Identify where your people are. The people you've been sent to, where are they? Find them. That is the assignment in this season. And then last but not the least, implementation is the name of the game. So you've unmuted your mind, but there is work to be done. Then execution, if you're not executing, is a joke. So right now, identify the things you need to do. Find the message, find the platform. Out of that, which you now want to unmute your mic on, can you extract products from them? So the product could be a book. It could be a coaching program. It could be a community. It could be an initiative. It could be an event. It could be a service. It could be a company. It could be courses. You will find it. That is your assignment. So those three things: find your message, find the platform, and find your product out of that. Thank you.
Before I ask more questions, let me just throw it into the house. Do we have questions?
I think that should be done. Let's
I think we're done.
So,
Please,
let's ask. Does anyone
You're asking me those questions.
maybe you want to share your
The experience.
Or your experience?
Because people are running, and I want us to snap before they all run home.
They are running.
So,
No, I mean, if you give, how many minutes do you want to ask questions? If you give the time, let them commit. Let them commit, but if I stand up, if I stand up from here like this. Oh, sorry about that. But this is not
So do we have?
Yeah, Deborah wants to ask questions. Observation. Thank you. Sure.
I celebrate everyone that spoke. Congratulations. Everyone spoke so great. I want to ask, because everybody has spoken about big moments, right? Unmuting your mic. You all have great achievements in your field. Do big moments change you? Can you talk about, anyone who wants to go, can you talk about the mindset reengineering, the self-image, self-perception that comes with a big moment, that you know that I can't go back to how I used to be after what just happened. Like sometimes when you accomplish something and you're like, Tim, you've crossed the line. Can you talk about that for a second? I want to hear from everyone, because I think you all have had like moments where you're like, God really sent me. You know?
Since I'm the man, let me start. How to get over with all these great women around me, you know? See, big moment will change you. But if it changes you, without changing your mindset, then that change will not have result in the long run. Yeah, so let's say you hit the first time you hit $1 million and you duped somebody. It is still a big moment. But if your mindset does not change to stop duping people, your big moment is just, so it's a mindset. So if you do something to achieve certain result, you can use the process from that one and create something that will not stop making you to, because one of the big moments of my life was when I had my first child. Our first baby died also. Maybe if you didn't know that, I showed you one. And it changed me, but it also changed my mindset. Why did it change my mindset? It changed my mindset because getting a woman pregnant is not enough. I'm going to the hospital is not enough. Because we did everything right, but the baby still died. So it gave me an experience to understand that in moments your life can change, but if your mindset doesn't change, you will not have. Guess what? My Obiku it was a bigger moment.
Wow.
Think about it. Then Shewa came, then Moriolua came. But I could have got stuck in that first, and it could mean different things for different people, right? So we have to keep reinventing ourselves. That when big moments come, we don't become too big or too pompous. One thing that I learned, trust me, from Reverend Sam Adeyemi, he will tell you, I was with him in his room. Reverend Sam Adeyemi understands how to let big moments change you, but have the mindset that makes you know there's a place bigger than where I am.
Yes.
I don't know if that makes sense.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you.
Okay, that's another tough question.
Yes. From nursing to $1 million contract.
I'm telling you, I actually find myself, big moment is great, and if care is not taken, the reality is going to change you. And you have to be intentional to make sure that it doesn't change you. And let me tell you, in this country, the first time I made $1 million, I wanted to actually make sure that I made it down low. I'm telling you.
I won't be wrong.
I wanted to paint it unheard. I wanted to shout about it. Thank God for the wonderful husband. Even daughters, come back home. So I have, that's why I say it's my transformer and not the speaker. I'm telling you, there have been different opportunities for me to actually change because of some platforms that I find myself, because of some positions, because of money in the account, because of networks you now have, because of things you have access to. There was a time in this country, it was getting that I cannot even go to the African store. It was actually getting where if I enter party like this, the party will just scatter for 5 minutes. Everybody come to my table and come and eat. And I was almost feeling it. Then my husband was always telling me like, you understand? Say, then you will see big daddies and big uncles, big mummies in your class. And if care is not taken, you will call them by their names. Because you are their teacher. So my husband will always coach me and tell me that I know. So anytime I'm in the class, I will just say that I'm actually privileged to be your teacher. I'm your sister. This is a great privilege for me to actually be your coach at this time. All those things. But the reality is, big moments we tend to like or stylishly change you. But you have to be intentional about it. Whenever you see that you're moving like this, and I say to you, when you have support system and you have a accountability partner, tell the person that whenever you see me moving like this, try to do what?
On my back.
Otherwise, you will.
So no.
For me, I just wanted to come from another angle, just to create a balance. Yes, big moments should not change us, but yes, big moments should change us. Right? Sometimes we still shrink into places we've outgrown. Accept you've changed. Accept that.
Deal with it.
Deal with it. You're no longer the same person. I'm always having this fight with my husband, so it's opposite of what is going on between you and Daddy Oba. I'm like, oh no, I'm still saying, you are not the same person. Get it. You are not. Accept it, you are not. I'm like, no. What you are charging last week, you shouldn't be charging it in 2025, babe. So I think sometimes we must tell ourselves the truth. It's just to create the boundaries and the balance. Know where to draw the line. That yes, I'm no longer that person people could walk over. There's a big moment. I'm no longer the same person. Right? I can't shrink. I can't continue to force this relationship. I can't continue to be in this circle. I need to tell myself the truth. I can't continue to go to this place, right? And then the balance is, of course, know where to draw the line so that it doesn't become like you are beginning to then show like we are big now, so we can't talk to you. So I think for me that would be the opposite.
So for me, big moments change me, but at the same time, I am a growing entity. And I have a motto, it is for me to make the girl I was yesterday jealous of the girl I am today. So I'm always looking for better ways to do things. So yes, I hit a milestone today and I'm like, well done, cowboy, move me. Like, I don't even take a breather to celebrate myself. I'm always packing my plate full of the next accomplishment, the next goal. So even though yes, I am changed, but I'm like, it's nothing compared to where you're going to. And I think it also comes with the burden of knowing where you're going to in life. You know, when you have this huge image of your future, like you know where you are heading to. Right. For example, if God has shown that you've been in a room full of 1,000 people, for example, and then you are here today, I can see 10 people. You have 10, it's big, like, yeah, I'm good, but man, I'm seeing 1,000. Yeah. So I've had times where I have meditated before, and I've been transported to where I see myself in rooms, in a room where I could smell myself in that. I could see my dress, I could see myself entering a car, and I was crying in that realm. Wow. And I came here back, and I had those tears in my eyes. Even the names I heard, I could remember everything. Wow. So when I see myself now, I'm like, I never reach. Yeah. And then sometimes I send people send me DMs. And I reply, like, oh, tell me you reply. Yeah, I'm replying you. I have to. Why was I replying? Who am I that I don't reply you? Like, I know I'm you. I'm like, no. Where I'm going to is still so far. So yes, I am changed by this moment, but again, I know there is so much more. I can't even afford to there's no room for it yet. Even when I hit those goals, then I can say, okay, let's charge.
When you hit it, you don't set another one.
Yes.
Who's got a question? Oh.
Okay,
So everyone commit that you will not leave for 10 minutes.
You will not leave for 10 minutes. That will be all over so that we can take pictures. Please. All right, thank you.
Because if it's your event, we'll wait for it.
I
will wait. Yeah.
So thank you for the session. I really enjoyed it. My question is directed to Dr. Success. So I have a background in analytics, and I'm trying to start my career also in that. But I realized that with data analytics, you're more in the background, or like you're just focusing on data. Yes. So how do you like position yourself out there to present yourself and like unmute your mic in like a career like that? Yes.
All right. So I want to understand your question properly. Do you still want to do this analytics?
Yes.
You are already in it.
No, I'm trying to get into that field.
You are trying. Have you trained yourself already?
So I have my career in that, but now I want my degree in that, and I have like some experience also with that from school and some internships. Okay. But now I want to like go into like a full-time role in data analytics. Okay. But how do I like position myself out there to show, like, because you in data analytics you don't really come to speak to people.
Absolutely.
And like, for instance, like in a career of coaching. So how do you present yourself in that?
I have a good news for you. And the good news is you are actually in a particular niche in IT that you can visualize and you can showcase. And that is key for you. You really want to make sure that you create. Are you on LinkedIn? Yes. Okay, you're on LinkedIn. I know you're very active on Instagram, but LinkedIn should be your thing. Okay. Me, I'm not. If you see me on Instagram, I'm not active on Instagram. But let me tell you, I'm a LinkedIn person. Every day, if I'm not yet there, I'm nowhere. You understand? So I will advise you, make sure that you are big on LinkedIn. And one thing you really want to do is you really want to continue to showcase your work. This has really helped me. I'm telling you, every minute, even as we are sitting here, I've gone through opportunities. Almost every day I get up to 4, 5, 6 opportunities. Different people calling me, telling me things and showing me opportunities and stuff like that. So you really want to make sure you continue to showcase yourself. Position yourself in such a way that you optimize your profile, you showcase yourself, create a portfolio for yourself, and be ready. Because they will come. By the time you start doing it, they will come for you. When they come for you, that shouldn't be the time when you want to go out and start preparing yourself. Immediately they come for you, immediately shoot it. Send them, this is what I can do, this is my portfolio, this is that. Let me quickly share this. When I became the VP Cybersecurity Top Brass Energy, I had that interview and they said, can we interview tomorrow? And I was like, okay, why not? But when I got to the interview, I've done a lot of work, I've built prepared part of vulnerability scanning platform and stuff like that. Demo, I've done a lot. Then I also had a platform then where I was actually teaching children safety, online safety. So immediately when I was on that call, that was what actually I showcased to them. You understand? So they wanted me to actually train because it's top brass, and energy is not really highly regulated. But at the same time, a lot of people are not technical, but they want me to be able to, how will I be able to manage non-technical people to understand technical things? And I said, of course, I've done that. I deal with children. I do this, I do that. And when I was in that meeting, I said, permit me to share. I said, go ahead and share. I never said I will send it to you. I was actually sharing, and I showed them different videos, different things that I've done. I'm telling you, I've had interviews. Well, my own interview is crazy. If I interview with you, you will give me a job in the next 30 minutes. If you don't tell me that same day that you are going to give me a job, I don't want you. So I'm telling you, within 30 minutes after that interview, I got my offer. You understand? And I've done that. I've trained a lot of my students to actually do that. So the best thing I will advise you, optimize your platform, make sure that it is irresistible. Anybody wants to actually know you. Then when they now come for you, please don't let it get still. If they send you a message, if there's phone number there, please call them and be ready with your collaterals, your bullet point, your job hunting collaterals and your portfolio, so that you really shoot it to them. So you are in a very good place. You understand? Just continue to show yourself.
Thank you very much. Thank you. So I think we'll just take pictures.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that.
She told me to speak out. The teacher told me. I'll go and